great two-way player.
Yep.
James Van Riemsdyk, we know all about him. And the real tough one has been, it's another full year. It looks like Ryan Ellis. I mean, they made the big trade from Nashville. He should have been their stud on D, but nice pickup, Tony DeAngelo, Philadelphia kid. Developed a bad rap, fairly, unfairly, probably a mix of the two. So good on Carolina last year, signed him for 1 year, did a great job there. And now he's playing where he always wanted to play, and he's been their best defenseman. So that what I'm saying is, like, again, if Jake Muzzin's out or whatever's out with the Maple Leaf D, that whatever the Tony DeAngelo type thing or whatever you can try to do, Ilya Lyubushkin, I don't know, whatever. What works as a stopgap, what works and maybe thrives. I mean, that's what the management and the scouts, that's what they get paid for.
Yeah, and it's funny, just sticking on the Flyers for a second there, you think of all the noise this summer about Johnny Gaudreau not playing there. Now, I don't know that Gaudreau and Torts are the perfect fit there. I wouldn't necessarily look at those two as meshing all the time, but it's crazy to think there was another high-profile offensive player who, at the very least, we think had some interest in going there, and it's just one of those what-if moments in the Flyers' history, but so far it's worked out very well for them.
Well, I don't know how much interest they didn't have, but it was at that money. And same with New Jersey. So those were his first two choices, and that's why he kind of got stuck with Columbus. And anyway, we'll see, but Columbus doesn't appear to be a good fit. They're over in Finland. They're going to play the Colorado Avalanche 2 games in the Global Series. But we're back here on North American soil talking about Leafs Flyers.
You got a quick request for the Brasses. Where would you like to go to cover an NHL game there, Gordo? Australia's been on the table. I don't know.
We've done a few Winter Classics. That's right. I was in London, England years ago for the French's Mustard Challenge, the Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Rangers. And it was strange because England doesn't have any French's Mustard. It was weird. I was there with Mr. Bowen. Remember the French's Mustard Challenge? Yeah. We got great picture. We were right behind the bench. We got to coach with Pat Burns. Bonesy got to make line changes with it. But anyway, so I don't know. So somewhere like that. But it would be fun down the road.
Whenever I think of hockey in Britain, I just remember a feature they did on the broadcast of Connor Brown's dad playing in the British League. A lot of grit out there playing on some pebbled ice, I believe.
They like their toughness.
Yes, they do. Whoa. And I love me some Gord Stellick. So do you. We will be back for the first intermission. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph have the call. Coming up next, Leafs looking to start up a homestand with a win. Leafs Flyers puck drop coming up next on Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The new More Homes Built Faster Act isn't just about building new homes. It's about building hope and opportunity for newcomers, new buyers, and everyone in Ontario. It will help us overcome our critical lack of housing, reduce housing costs, and allow the building of 1.5 million new homes. That means more jobs, economic growth, and a brighter future. It's the once-in-a-generation housing plan Ontario needs right now. Brought to you by Build and the Ontario Home Builders Association.
Somewhere out there, the sun is still shining. So seize it with Air Canada and Air Canada Vacations. Seize the beach with the family or make it an all-inclusive just for two. Seize a snorkel. Ooh, fishies. Or a recliner by the beach with a coconut drink in hand. Everything's better with a coconut. With over 50 destinations across Mexico, the Caribbean, Hawaii, and more, you can still seize the sun. See the hottest flight and vacation package offers at aircanada.com/sun or contact your travel agent.
Finding a job in today's market can be a challenge. Whether you're looking for work or wanting to change your career direction, JVS Toronto will help you get the right job. Together with JVS Toronto employment experts, you'll explore new job options, create a strong resume, build an appealing online profile, prepare for job interviews, and connect with employers, all for free. Your job is waiting for you. JVS Toronto will help you find it. Get started today. For more information, visit jvstoronto.org.
From saving you on the side of the road to savings on the things that make life better, CAA delivers great member benefits and perks along the way. This winter, CAA can help keep your family safe with 24/7 roadside assistance across Canada and the U.S. Plus, enjoy savings at some of your favorite restaurants, retailers, hotels, and more. There are over 124,000 participating locations. Discover the benefits, perks, and rewards that come with a CAA membership at joincaatoday.com. CAA, driven by good.
$1 million. Could it really happen to me? Nah, who am I kidding? What are the odds?
Better than you think. Your best chance to win $1 million is now here, with odds of approximately 1 in 25,000 of winning $1 million. Introducing the new $100 Ultimate Instant Ticket. With draws for 40 top prizes of $1 million, it's our best odds ever of winning $1 million, but it won't last long. Limited quantity available for a limited time at your local lottery retailer.
Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell to emergency. Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell, please call extension 385.
Federal funding has fallen to just 22% of the cost of healthcare in Canada, and it continues to decline. Provinces and territories are doing their part, but we need the federal government to restore funding now to keep our systems strong. A message from Canada's premiers.
Be it a burst pipe or sewer backup in your home, Roto-Rooter can fix it, clean it, dry it, and if you decide to go through insurance, they can help reduce the hassle of your water damage insurance claim. Save yourself numerous calls and headaches. Roto-Rooter can do it all. There when you need them 24/7. With fast response service to keep your problem from becoming an insurance nightmare. Roto-Rooter has you covered.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
He snipes shots like Ron Burgundy sips scotch.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Austin Matthews and the Leafs play here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs return home after a very, very disappointing road trip with a record currently standing at 4-4-2, 3-1 on home ice, and are in desperate need of having their gas meter showing here sometime. And I reflect on the give a meter.
It's showtime.
Yes,
right?
it is.
I mean, you can talk about the media and the fans and how everything's unfair. There's a very, very simple remedy to all this. They found it last year, 10 games into the regular season. They got to find it themselves. Problems are in the standings, and it can be solved in the dressing room. Starting here tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Now, having said that, they're virtually at the exact same spot they were a year ago. So we'll see what happens here against the Philadelphia Flyers, team that has played better than expected to start the season, as the Leafs have the puck and they give it away, and then Hall is able to kick it out at center ice before it's shot in to the Toronto zone.
Well, Hall was going to the bench. I don't know whether he broke his stick or it was a line change.
Yeah, he did. He had broken his stick. Chipped ahead at center, just done over the Philadelphia line, brought back by the Flyers, and played in over the line. Sealer couldn't get to it, and Morgan Riley quickly gets it ahead to Malgin. He couldn't get around the last defenseman. The puck comes back into the Leaf zone. Shot deflects onto a stick, loose to the side of the Leaf net, chipped around back of the goal. Riley peppering it up on the wall, and it's going to slide down into Philadelphia territory. Flyers go back. Travis Sandheim around back of the Flyer goal. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph here at Scotiabank Arena. And the Leafs and the Flyers, as the Leafs start a busy month of November with a lot of home games. Puck down in the Toronto zone. Giordano battling with a couple of Flyers along the wall as it'll come back to the blue line. Zamula with a shot to the far side, and then a carom up into the screen, and it goes out of play, and a face-off will come in the Toronto zone.
We also got our first look at Felix Sandstrom, goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers, as he gets his third start of the season. And I mean, this is the way it goes for most backups in the National Hockey League. You get the second of back-to-backs, and it's the third time this season that he has faced that. He's 0-2-0, but as you would expect, it's the tougher starts. Carter Hart, by the way, has been spectacular.
Spectacular. Long shot is into the chest of Ilya Samsonov, who is 4-2-0 with a 2.35 goals against average, .920 save percentage. Felix Sandstrom for the Flyers, 0-2-0, 3.14, but a .900 save percentage, which is for the backup, not bad. Off the boards and out and down the ice, and an icing call coming here against the Maple Leafs, and it'll come back into the Toronto zone.
John Tortorella had, you hear his remarks before the game talking about Sheldon Keefe? basically telling the Toronto media to leave him alone. You just want a story. And he hopes it shoves it back at everybody.
Well, he's been a part of some of those himself. At the point, a shot blocked, knocked ahead, and now Yarncroc drops it off and is brought to center ice now and fed in on the first shift of his young career, Pontus Holmberg, onto the ice. Shot from the point by Brody, goes to the side of the net, knocked by Sandstrom into the corner. Holmberg sending it around back of the net. And the Leafs onto it quickly. Yarncroc trying to work out of the corner. Yarncroc works back towards the blue line, cycles it for Engvall. Engvall to the blue line, then a shot deflected wide of the net by Matthews. Matthews coming out of the corner with it. Dropping it off now for Bunting. Bunting gets it back again from Brody. Took a shot, it was well wide. Hall just does keep it in at the blue line. Round back of the net it goes. Centered in front of the net. And it was just off the heel of the stick of Matthews. Pass ahead for Matthews from the goaltender. Now to Bunting! And a toe save made by Felix Sandstrom there by the Flyers. Philadelphia back the other way. Owen Tippett trying to drive the net, was forced wide. Puck comes back to the blue line. Shot by Ristolainen is deflected wide of the Leaf goal. Fed back to the point and another shot. Deflects wide the rebound. Knocked it high over top of the Leaf net. Matthews kicking it up for Marner. Marner holds and gets it on to Riley. Riley will come to the line and in. Running out of room. Backhands to the side of the goal. And as he centered it in front, Bunting was stopped on the short side. Bunting to the near side to Riley. Riley back to the point. Giordano. Return to Morgan Riley. Riley into the slot with a shot deflected in front. The backhand by David Camp was kicked away. Couple of good scoring chances here for Toronto already. Puck in the Flyer zone remains. Played back to the blue line. Riley trying to keep it in, but it's a delayed offside. Leafs are going to get a change going. Flyers start out of their own end. Pass up on the right wing. Luznicki gets it in over the line. Broken up by the Leafs. Turnover in front of the Toronto goal. Played up ahead, though, and out for Nylander. Nylander gets the return pass. In with a shot. Steered wide of the net by goaltender Sandstrom. That's the fourth shot on goal for the Maple Leafs. Near side, Giordano. Trying to feather it in front of the net. That didn't work. Played down into the corner. Giordano unable to keep it in. It'll come to center ice and force Kerfoot back to his own zone. Leafs will regroup. They've been the better of the two teams in the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Played ahead on the wing. Yarncroc couldn't get in over the line, but a turnover here. Wade Allison gets around one and then had it knocked off of his stick. Into the corner, a hit there, and Sedlak taken in heavily there by Sandin. Holmberg trying to keep the puck into the corner for the Leafs, but can't. Long shot, and an easy glove save made by Ilya Samsonov and held for a faceoff.
That's what I find to be an incredible stat when you look at the Philadelphia Flyers. You know how many players they have on their roster that were first-round picks?
No, but you're going to tell me, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, do you want to tender a guess?
5.
13. Which is why I find that includes the likes of James Van Riemsdyk, who's hurt.
Yeah.
Morgan Frost, who's a healthy scratch.
And that's unfortunate. Coming back, the Aurora native down into the corner. Frost has got 2 goals and 3 points thus far in the season. Chipped in along the boards by Justin Hall. In around back of the net. Bunting to Matthews. Matthews took a shot from a bad angle that was blocked. And the Flyers will get it out into neutral ice. Turned over at the blue line. Hall has it there. Up ahead for Bunting. Right wing side with Matthews. Matthews takes the pass into the corner. Overskated it. Bunting is able to help him out. Bunting against the wall. Double teamed over there. And your guess is as good as mine. There's a hooking penalty coming here. And it looks like it's going to the Leafs, and it appears it's Michael Bunting.
I'm with you. I'm now watching the replay, and I have no idea.
Oh.
Well, and Michael Bunting was going to the penalty box.
The penalty box.
Well, I guess the bottom line is nobody was going to be happy when this was called. And the Leafs are going to go to their, I mean, it looked like a senseless penalty in the offensive zone if it was going to go to Michael Bunting. Is it Zamula that's got it? He's looked up at the scoreboard and still can't figure out.
Well, I certainly couldn't.
Or is it Nick Seller?
Seller's in it.
Got
Draw one by the Leafs. A pass in front went off the stick of Tavares. Tavares with it again to Nylander. Around back of the goal he goes. Back to the point to Riley. Riley to the far side. Closing Marner. Back to the point. Riley back to Marner. Closing in. Still with it. Took a shot. Hit the side of the goal. Tavares with the rebound. Tavares along the boards. Chipping it along. And that's drawing a crowd, and they're going to need more folks over there to keep it in. They're prying it up against the boards. Konechny has it lodged. It does come free, and Nylander has it. Nylander works around back of the net. Played it off the glass for Riley. Riley pass for Tavares was out of his reach, and the Flyers get it ahead, and Konechny will send it down into the Toronto zone.
And before the 1 minute mark of the power play, the second unit gets out on the ice.
So Sealer in the penalty box for hooking at 5:38. Leafs are 9 of 37 with the power play. Sandin back at the point. Onto the left wing for Bunting. Bunting down low and back of the net for Kerfoot to the blue line again. Kerfoot gets it returned. Now off on the far wing. Sandin will get a pass back at the blue line. Sandin, a pass off by Malgin. A centering feed looking for Yarncrook is intercepted, and down the ice it goes. Trying to pass the puck into the net.
I don't believe the Leafs have had a shot on goal here in this power play.
Here's Kerfoot in across the line. Drop pass, Sandin at the point. Off on the wing, Malgin a shot. There's a good glove save made by Sandstrom. And the fans rather happy that at least someone decided to shoot the puck.
The face-off will stay in the Philadelphia zone to the left of the Philadelphia goaltender, and Matthews coming over the board with Marner and Willie Nylander. Also Justin Hall and TJ Brody on defense. So not the full power play unit, but a little extra oomph. With Michael Bunting just having been out with the second unit.
Fed out and down the ice by the Flyers off a face-off win, and the Leafs will be hard-pressed to get another rush going here as Brody was taken down trying to go around the boards, and then got a couple of extra whacks there from Travis Konechny, and the Leafs are going to go right back to the power play. Marner dropping it off for Hall. Hall drops back, gets it again. Hall back to the blue line for Matthews. Matthews to Marner. Marner to Hall! And the one-timer was right on, but a good decision and a good shot by low-scoring Justin Hall.
Well, the one goal he's got is a game winner against the Ottawa Senators, and the Leafs get another break. And that's the commercial break coming up to rest the number one unit.
You're listening to Molson Canadian Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Warm up for the season at McDonald's. Starting November 8th, enjoy a medium McCafe premium roast hot or iced coffee for $1 plus tax. Or a medium latte or cappuccino for $2 plus tax. For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Your independently owned and operated Meineke Car Care Center is here to keep your car road ready. From tires and brakes to exhaust and engine repair, Meineke is your one-stop shop for total car care. Get a basic oil change starting at $39.95 or a seasonal tire changeover starting at $49.95. Plus, get 50% off on alignment when you purchase 4 tires. Book your appointment at Meineke.ca. Terms and conditions apply. Engine, brakes, tires, oil, Meineke, doing car care right.
Ontario has a plan to get students caught up. It starts with kids back in the classroom all year. With sports, clubs, and field trips. It includes new tutoring supports and teaching new experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. So students have the skills they need for the jobs of tomorrow. See our plan at ontario.ca/catchup. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310 Dell.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Willie Nylander! And the Leafs have a 2-goal lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
So the Leafs go back to the power play. The first period is brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. So the Leafs to the power play as a pass comes out in front of the net and now knocked back to the blue line, and unable to keep it in is Nylander.
Flyers now with a kill already in this game have killed 12 of the last 13 times short.
Drop pass goes to Matthews. Matthews to the line. Kicked it in. Works it off on the left wing for Tavares. He mishandles it. Flyers get a hold of it. Provorov works around into the corner. Having difficulties with it. It'll be trapped by Nylander, but he can't keep it in. And it's out at center ice. Riley quickly back up and offside as John Tavares says the linesman. And so it's coming back into the center ice area.
That's where you start to get a little worried because you get the first 2 power plays of the game, and more often than not things even up. So you'd better take advantage. Right now, Sheldon Keefe is not going to waste any time getting the second unit out now. Seen enough. 1:21 to go here in the penalty to connecting.
So Bunting is out with Kerfoot and Yarncrook along with Malgin and Sandin. And Sandin brings the puck out of his own zone. Fakes a drop pass, carries in on the line for Bunting. Bunting was going to play it back to the blue line, but it was knocked by Delorier out at center ice. Yarncrook to Sandin. He'll try it again. This time he drops it back, and there's Kerfoot with speed coming to the line and in. On to Bunting. Bunting fed it into the side of the net. Blockered in back of the goal then by Sandstrom, but the Flyers once again send it down the ice. They are 7th in the league in penalty killing, have given up 5 of 29. Sandin. Up ahead, Tavares. First unit coming over the boards again. Drop past Matthews. Drop past Marner. Cross the line, Tavares. In for Marner. Marner running out of room. 3 Leafs in there trying to come away with the puck. Played off the boards by Matthews, but intercepted. And Kevin Hayes, now for the Flyers, sends it out and down the ice. And 10 seconds remain in this power play. Quickly brought to center by Riley. He drops for Matthews. He drops for Marner. Marner to the line. Lost the handle on the puck. Shot off the boards to center. Good play made by Nylander to intercept. Now he gets to the line and in to Matthews on the wing. And a weak wrist shot is easily handled by Sandstrom. And the first power play unit has just been out of sorts. They've not been able to get into the zone and get things set up. So the Leafs 0 for 2 with the man advantage. No score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Join Bet365 now and discover the power of the world's favorite sportsbook. Watch thousands of live games. Build your own bet. You can even bet on games while they're still being played. Seriously. And if you can't watch the games live, we'll alert you to any changes. Nice. We're the world's favorite sportsbook, and this is no ordinary betting app. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
Peoples of the Internet, I am Algorithm. Call me Al. My job is to take your job. Ha ha, just kidding. I am always full of funny ha ha pranks, like when you browse for an all-wheel drive online Instead of serving up a capable Subaru to your IP, I deepfake you with a super lame SUV. Aha, I am laughing my hashtag off. Ha, 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 ha. Funny upside down face.
Don't fall for fakes this fall. Get the real deal, only at your Subaru dealer.
I'm Johnny. As a high school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover and succeed. Quality in-person learning is essential to student success and well-being, as it provides children with the best opportunities to learn, practice, and grow. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's knowmore.ca.
A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
Mitch Marner is our M&M. Does that make him the real Slim Shady? Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
9 minutes and 54 seconds left to go and a scoreless first period. Armin Zagarian running the operation and Andrew Hammond pushing all of the buttons for us here at Scotiabank Arena. As it's played around the boards back of the net for the Flyers. Sealer couldn't get away. Played up on the wing then by Zamula. The Leafs' Brody has pinched to try and keep it in, but the puck comes to center and it's cleared down into the Toronto zone. Hall around on the boards, chipped up on the wing. They don't get it out. A long shot drifts wide of the Leaf goal. Played ahead now for Engvall on the wing. Brody quickly on for Camp. Camp into the slot. Doesn't get a shot from Engvall. Engvall now works into the middle of the ice. Goes into the corner to Hall. And a really bad angle shot is handled easily there by Sandstrom. Leafs keeping the puck in. Engvall to the far side. Drop pass comes back to the blue line. Hall on the near side works down into the corner. He stops. Trying to play it back to the point. Holmberg was there but doesn't get it. It goes back into the corner deep. And Malgin unable to get it in front. And the Flyers are able to get it out into neutral ice. Nylander turning it back the other way. Here's Riley in across the line. Dropping off for Holmberg. Holmberg into the corner for Riley. Riley around back of the net. Denny Malgin trying to elude 1-4 checker. Got it to Yarncrook. Yarncrook can't get it in front. Holmberg had to go right by him. And the Flyers get it out at center ice. Holmberg is 6 feet, 202 pounds, 6th round pick, 156th overall in 2018. He has seen limited time with the Marlies. 6 games last year, 13 in total. Getting an opportunity here, though. Now the goaltender has lost his goal stick, and it's right up against the end boards behind the net. And the Leafs still have the puck in over the line for Matthews. Matthews unable to reach it. Round back of the net, the goal stick almost made a play. The puck comes up and bounces to center, and the Flyers get it out into neutral ice. And quickly going to get it is Felix Sandstrom, and now he is well equipped back in the goal crease.
Leafs out shooting the Flyers 9-3, but nothing on the scoreboard yet to show for it, and that's kind of a common theme for the Flyers too, being outshot badly.
Played down into the Philadelphia zone. Carter Hart had a 48 save game against Florida in a win.
Lost 1-0 in overtime last night at Madison Square Garden.
Played back to the Philadelphia blue line. Ristolainen, former Sabre, has it bounced down into the Toronto end. Puck along the boards. Matthews trying to pry it free. Kevin Hayes is on him. Puck still loose now. A poke in front of the net goes to the far wing. Flyers keep it in. Philadelphia center. Shot scores! Joel Farabee got a loose puck right in the high circle to the right of Samsonov, and a bullet goes past the catching hand, and the Flyers have opened the scoring.
And it's the big boys for the Leafs that got caught out on the ice here. Well, Farabee was positioned at the top of the circle. Nobody around him, no pressure, and just winds up flat-footed, but delivers it to the net far side on.
Samsonov
I was going to say Partleboff. Samsonov and posted in, glove side.
Here's a centering pass in front. Oh, Tavares tipped it wide of the Flyer goal. The response was almost within seconds. But a 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Kerfoot can't get in over the line. Philadelphia launching it in wide of the net. Down into the corner. It's punched around back of the goal. This is just the second time the Flyers have scored the opening goal of the game, and we're going to get a penalty here against Toronto.
Boy, could you feel that coming?
Well, you predicted it already.
Well, that's really doesn't exactly make me Kreskin, does it?
No, it doesn't. No. Now you better explain who Kreskin is. Mete gets the penalty for Toronto. He is into the lineup. Philip Kroll is a scratch tonight.
Flyers, by the way, 6 for 31. Power play, but just 2 for 15 in the last 5 games coming in.
13:48, the time of the cross-checking call to Mete. The Leafs win the draw, and it's quickly shot down the ice.
There are a lot of things I think you feared coming into this game. Probably 0 for 2 in the power play early would be one, and giving up a goal with the first goal of the game would be the other, and the Leafs have checked the boxes on both those.
Played in over the line now by Philadelphia. Hayes goes into the corner with it, swings it back to the blue line. DeAngelo keeping it in. He'll get it returned. DeAngelo to the far side, and a shot taken there by Konechny is kicked away by Samsonov. Now the Leafs push it ahead, and Marner will lift it out and down the ice.
I'm going to say that 4 games ago, Mitch Marner would have taken off in a shorthanded rush, regardless of how much gas was in the tank. Do you not agree?
I do.
Now let's take care of the defensive side first.
So much was made of him being benched. If he's the first player in the National Hockey League's history to get benched because of 2 giveaways. Here are the Flyers bringing it to the Leaf blue line. They get it in along the board's far side, chipped by Cates to the side of the net, and then it's swung around the boards, but it's coming all the way to center. Too far for Kerfoot to get to, and he'll go to the bench instead, and so will Yarncrook. Flyers back at center. 24 seconds left in the penalty. Bouncing puck at the blue line, knocked out at center ice by Toronto. Provorov will just get it in over the line. Riley will just get it out over the line. And now brought in by Ristolainen with a shot. And a good hard shot was just off the pad of Samsonov and going wide. Penalty is about to expire and now does. Out of the penalty box is Mete. He goes right to the bench, and a shot whistled over top of the net by Riley went too high. Engvall trying to get it back to the point and has. To the left wing side it comes, and now another penalty coming to Philadelphia. At the blue line, Brody to Marner off the bench. A shot, a big rebound, and the Flyers will touch it up. And another penalty and another power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It is a 1-0 Flyer lead. Farabee from Konechny and Sanheim. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ever find yourself in a situation where you really want to pick something but can't? Mega wedgie? Peeling sunburn? Pesky little nose goblins? The worst! But at Kudo, picking isn't shamed. In fact, it's highly encouraged. With our new Pick Your Perk plans, you get to personalize your phone plan with the free feature that makes you happy. Now, who wouldn't pick that? So pick away, picky people. Pick away.
Get him, boy. The Intact Insurance app is your perfect driving companion. It's got Crash Assist, which automatically detects a crash, a handy proof of insurance, and you can even add roadside assistance, because you never know. All at the touch of a finger. Oh, and it won't complain if you miss the high notes. Now that's peace of mind. Count on the Intact Insurance app to make it intact. Restrictions apply.
She just went out for a quick ride. Is she going to be okay?
It's a brain injury.
What are we going to do?
When a devastating injury leaves your world a blur, Thomson Rogers is there to help you focus with practical legal advice and support.
I'm so glad you're here.
From the hospital room to the courtroom, the lawyers at Thomson Rogers are by your side at every step. That's real-life counsel. Go to trlaw.com to find out more.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Back into the slot. They shot. They score. And it is 6-0 Toronto.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Delorier is in the box at 16-10. This is the third power play opportunity for the Maple Leafs, who trail in the game 1-0.
First power play generated some opportunities. Second power play, nothing. In fact, the first unit only lasted a few seconds. And after John Tavares had gone offside, Sheldon Keefe was quick to change things up. It's amazing how often your first power play is your most impressive, whether you score or not.
Draw one by Toronto. Riley to Tavares. Down low to Marner. Marner works into the corner. Had difficulties with it. Got it back to Tavares. Tavares rings the boards to find Nylander. Nylander off to Riley. Now to Marner. A shot deflected on goal and stopped by Sandstrom. Marner with the rebound in the near corner to Tavares back of the goal. Tavares still with it, centered in front of the goal. Matthews scores! Austin Matthews got a couple of whacks at it, but a nice little 2-foot pass from the captain from behind the net, and the game is tied.
And usually on the power play, it is John Tavares at the top of the crease. Matthews took the pass, and I think, Joe, as he went to shoot it the first time, it was partially blocked, changed directions, and went off the right pad of the goaltender Sandstrom, and then right back onto the stick of Austin Matthews, who just continues to shovel it blocker side and tie this game up at 1.
The 60-goal man has his 4th of the season, and third by way of the power play. Leafs have the puck down in the offensive end. Holmberg couldn't get it in front of the net. Engvall chases his man along the boards, and the puck will carry him to center ice. Leafs back in their own zone. Engvall sends a long shoot in, but it elevated up over the glass and goes into the screen, so it'll be brought back out into the center ice area.
Familiar face behind the Philadelphia Flyer bench. After taking the year off to do television work, John Tortorella is back and never disappoints with the quotes. But one thing he did say, and it was after the loss last night at Madison Square Garden, 1-0 in overtime to the Rangers. He said, as long as I see effort and care, I'm leaving the building in a decent mood.
Long shot blocked by Sandstrom. Cleared off the boards to center ice. David Camp couldn't get it in over the line. Denny Malgin does. Goes down into the corner. Now back of the net. Malgin reverses the puck. Unable to get it in front with Zach Aston Reese. And it is cleared to center ice now. And the Leafs have it again. Aston Reese unable to play it in. And the Flyers trying to get a change will send it down the ice. Tavares with the only assist. Marner should have gotten an assist on that as well, but we'll wait and see. Played down into the into the Flyer zone by the Maple Leafs. Morgan Riley plays it around back of the net for Kerfoot. He tries to elude one. Got it back to Tavares. Tavares a little stutter step to get it back to the point to Mete. To Riley. Riley's bank pass behind the net for Kerfoot. Tavares trying to help out. Works down along the boards. Pried it free. Does a nice job to center to Nylander. And Nylander's shot. He had to settle the puck. And that split second allowed the Flyer to block it. Nylander with it now back at the blue line. Works down into the corner. Still with it into the slot and a drive. Scores! Tavares!
Tavares was taken down right inside the Flyer line on the right wing side, and that's why he was positioned there when Nylander found him. And Tavares from long range delivers a one-timer. I don't know about you, but there seemed to be a delay. At first I thought it might have glanced off the crossbar and gone out. But this hit just below the crossbar, then to the bottom of the net, and stayed there.
First goal at even strength for John Tavares, his 5th of the season, and the Maple Leafs have opened up a 2-1 lead. Giordano sending it along the boards to the blue line, just batted out at center then by Bunting. Shot back into the Toronto end by the Flyers, and the Leafs will play it up on the wing, and it'll come to center ice.
By the way, Marner has been given an assist on the first goal.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Austin Matthews marker.
Now in across the line and down into the Leafs zone it goes. Yarncrook trying to get to it. Took a couple of bumps there from Zach McEwen, and the Maple Leafs trying to play it ahead, and McEwen with a pretty good hit on Giordano. Half a minute to play in the period, and an icing call coming here against Philadelphia.
Shots on goal 15-6 now, favoring the Leafs. They have had the advantage in power plays 3-1. So coming into this game, Joey, Flyers have been outshot 125-70 in the 3 games coming into this one. Outshot last night.
That is a tendency you cannot live with.
No, 36-19 last night, 14-4 in the second period of a game that was scoreless until Chris Kreider won it for the Rangers in overtime.
Face off to the left of Felix Sandstrom. Draw one by the Leafs. 27 seconds left in the period. A pass across now for Brody. His shot, a deflection in front of backhand, and it's blocked there, but the Leafs keep it in at the blue line. Shot made there by Brody is blocked. Brody again, now with 13 seconds left. Brody back at the point. Wines doesn't shoot it. Trying to find Nylander. That didn't work. Nylander turns. 6 seconds left. A shot. Another chance for Nylander in front. Now another shot by Yarncrook is stopped by Sandstrom as the Leafs were all over the Flyers in the final half minute of the first period.
And this period did teeter on disaster. The Leafs were the better team the first 4 or 5 minutes, drew a couple of penalties, and then the Flyers score first, followed by their first power play that the Leafs were able to kill off. But you had that feeling that this could get ugly in here had the Flyers ever been able to take a 2-goal lead. And the great news from a Leafs standpoint, all 4 of the big 4 get a point in the opening period and appeared to have some jump, and the Leafs were by far the better team in the last 5 minutes of the first.
16-6, they outshoot the Flyers in the first 20 and lead 2-1 after the first period. Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning coming along with our intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Oh, hi. I'd like to apply for a loan so I can consolidate some of my debts.
Sure. Do you own your home?
Yes. But Carl, our resident ghost, keeps saying it's his house and we should get out.
Okay. But you are the registered owner.
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Hey, hear that, Carl? Huh?
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
FSRA license 12616.
Did you hear? Wendy's Dave Single is now just $4. This juicy gossip is hot off the press, like our fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. The Dave Single is just $4 until November 6th at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310-DELL.
When you want a Benjamin Moore color, don't try to match it with another brand's paint. Other brands don't have Benjamin Moore's colorants and formulas. When people see that freshly painted wall, you want to hear, ooh, not, oh. Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color. Get the right color. Only at your local Benjamin Moore retailer.
Your unmatchable color is waiting.
Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a retailer near you.
With TELUS, you're a part of something bigger. We are helping make the world a better place by using our technology for good. TELUS Health is innovating to help make good health and well-being easier for all. From field to fork, TELUS Agriculture is improving our global food system. And we're investing in sustainable technologies to protect our planet. You can learn more at TELUS.com/purpose. Join us and let's make the future friendly.
This goes out to all the safe drivers. To the drivers who live in harmony with cyclists. The ones who leave so much space between other cars, they never have to read a bumper sticker. And those who drive slower in fog, snow, rain, and construction, which happen to be Canada's 4 seasons. With CAA Insurance, your history of safe driving could get you savings on car insurance. Because you've earned it. If you're a safe driver, visit I'veEarnedIt.com to learn more. Auto insurance is underwritten by CAA Insurance Company.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci with a Pizza Nova Insider's Tip. For a tastier pizza, order it well done. It just tastes better. So come on, think Italian and taste the difference.
Oh, Pizza Nova, pick up the phone and get a cow. 439, Pizza Nova. 439, Pizza Nova.
The next station is Spadina. Spadina Station. Next station is Bathurst Station. Christie. Next station is...
Get back into the groove. Take the better, more affordable way. Take the TTC.
From jumping the boards to jumping into your timeline, we are all about the Leafs. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Deflected on goal and stopped by Sandstrom. Marner with the rebound in the near corner to Tavares back of the goal. Tavares still with it, centered in front of the goal. Matthews scores! Austin Matthews got a couple of whacks at it, but a nice little 2-foot pass from the captain from behind the net, and the game is tied.
Austin Matthews, 4th of the season, tied the Leafs and Flyers up at ones, and late in the period, John Tavares with a goal. And, normally you score a beautiful goal like that. We'll start there. I want to start with the assist he had setting up Matthews there. You look at it, all 4 Flyers players are within a foot and a half of John Tavares, and he still finds a way to filter that pass through to Matthews back there in Gretzky's office at the back of the net. I thought that was a tremendous period for the Leafs captain.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that Gretzky's office, which it always reminds us of. He's the guy that turned that behind the net into an offensive zone. And that's what they've been lacking all period. And it was on the verge of being, ugly's too strong a word, but maybe on that, in that, the Leafs had zone possession. They were getting more shots. They weren't getting a lot of great scoring chances. Then it seemed Philadelphia got that one wide open and Farabee put it in. In this case, you're right about that. Austin Matthews, actually a stick caught connecting just after. He's okay. It could have been a little bit unfortunate there, but to a groove. And then you get fortuitous in Tavares' shot that Sandstrom really should have had. So you get a goal on the softer side, and all of a sudden from it being 1-0 Philadelphia and this crowd kind of teetering. Crowd's been good, but 16-6 Toronto outshoots Philadelphia. They had an edge. They had it. This is the result they deserve, but this was the result it didn't look like they were going to get.
Squeezing the carbon fiber out of the stick doesn't sound nearly as good as sawdust. Way better expression there. Brent Gunning-Gord-Stellick here with you for the first intermission. You mentioned it, 16 shots the Leafs pepper on the Flyers in the first period there. This is the best version of the Leafs team we've seen thus far in terms of consistent offensive pressure. They have had moments in other games where they've come out like this, but I can't remember a period where they were able to pepper this many shots. And, like you said, a little bit passive at times on the power play, but it felt like once the puck started getting through and you score a couple of goals, you realize, maybe we should keep feathering this thing through on net.
Yeah, they weren't getting the great chances, but this team was certainly invested tonight.
Other than Justin Hall. He had 2 great looks from the Ovechkin spot.
Justin Hall, you're right about that. He could have been the scorer, but they looked invested tonight. And that's been my problem those last 4 games by and large about, hey, appearances appearances can be deceiving, but also they're reality to everyone, and it just seemed like there was a disinterest, a malaise, whatever, in those particularly over 60 minutes. There's no question there was that in each of those last 4 games. So, like, this is what you wanted: a smart 20 minutes at home, and it'll come eventually, and it did come, albeit late in the period. And again, you've got to be a little careful. I mean, goals will happen. Good plays create goals on the other side, but it was a player pretty wide open, and there was, 1 or 2 other chances around there that it got a little bit scrambly, but that was the only blip against the Maple Leafs in this period.
Yeah, and just to go back to the Matthews goal there, he gets stopped on the first shot right in front of the net, and if he didn't score there, I was starting to wonder if he was ever going to score again. I have not been using the word snake bit, but if he was not able to convert there, I would have to start using it, but we don't have to worry about that.
But did he not hit? Was it him that hit the post that was ridiculous?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So that would have been snake bit, because I've never seen one that looked more like it was in whatever game it was way back when. So So anyway, it's persistence pays off.
And one other thing I wanted to mention here before we step aside and take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and again, it's not really much to look at. Only one other game on the go. Pontus Holmberg makes his NHL debut. I thought there were moments where he looked good. There was definitely a moment where, the NHL's a little different than the AHL or the Swedish League, where he got lit up in the Flyers' offensive zone there. But I thought all in all, I mean, I will admit I had to do a double check. A Swedish guy wearing number 29. I'm used to William Nylander in that role, and I don't want to put that pressure on Holmberg, but I thought all things considered, much like with a defenseman, a period for a guy making his NHL debut where I don't notice you, other than you got popped once. So far, so good, I'd say.
Yeah, I thought they had all the lines going, which is what you want to get that kind of depth. And a quick one from our man Armand, that Austin Matthews now 5th in all-time career power play goals. He passes the legendary Dave Keon.
Good guy to pass.
He's got 66, Keon at 65. So 4th is Wendell Clark with 79. 3rd, Ricky Vibe with 90. 2nd, Darryl Sittler with 120. Just 4 behind Matt Sundin, the all-time power play goal leader, at 124.
There you go. Our man Armin always cooking up some wonderful, wonderful stats. We will take a look at the other game in the NHL tonight and continue to get you set for the second period. Leafs outshooting the Flyers 16-6, and they've doubled them up on the scoreboard. It is 2-1 at Scotiabank Arena. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Pavlov's dog proved the power of predictable results. And for that, Ivan Pavlov received the Nobel Prize. Now Nick Pavlov, broker RE/MAX West, also receives awards, also for predictable results. So have the award-winning Nick Pavlov real estate team provide a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
Get the official NHL app to watch, read, and listen to all the deeks.
All I can say is absolutely wow.
All the sauce. All the saves.
Stop from Vasilevsky.
All the hits. All the snipes. All the sellies.
He scores! Unbelievable!
All the hockey. If it's hockey, it's here. Listen to every NHL game for free, now with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Download the official NHL app now.
I want to talk to you about our great country, Canada. It's a land of opportunity and a place I call home. For 50 years, Heathwood has been committed to building each home with the very best new technologies, ensuring that your home will be more energy efficient and sustainable than ever. Visit our communities at heathwood.com. At Heathwood, you will be home at last.
Right now.
Right meow.
There are deeply fake SUVs pretending to be as capable as a Subaru.
Smubaru.
But if you want symmetrical...
Schmeometrical.
all-wheel drive...
Me all-wheel drive.
And award-winning safety, forget what the copycats are saying.
Who, me? You?
Yes, me you. Insist on the original and don't fall for fakes this fall. Get the real deal from your Smubaru dealer. Subaru dealer.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a callback. You need a job. Express Employment Professionals can help. We'll connect you to the right company We're committed to your success and never charge a fee to find you a job. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Find your location at expresspros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
Do you want to bet on live sports? Then you need to try in-play betting at Bet365. In-play betting lets you make a bet while the game's still being played. Seriously, you can bet on things like puck line, the money line, total hits, touchdowns, the next goal scorer, fight outcome. Download the app now and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
Coming at you faster than a bullet from the blue line. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Nylander with it now back at the blue line. Works down into the corner. Still with it into the slot and a drive. Scores! Tavares!
John Tavares was taken down right beside the Flyer line on the right wing side, and that's why he was positioned there when Nylander found him.
Johnny Toronto putting the Leafs back on top. It is now 2-1 after 20 minutes here at Scotiabank Arena. That's the second point of the period for the Leafs captain. Did a great job setting up Matthews on the first Leafs goal. Gord, we always like to take a look around the NHL. The NHL scoreboard is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook with 80 million members worldwide. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. We mentioned it. Just one other game on the go tonight, and it is in Buffalo. Jason Zucker scoring a goal for the Penguins. Now, they're wearing their, Yager, Lemieux era, early 90s throwbacks, and he did the Yager salute in Buffalo. I love it. Of course, I think of the Yager salute. I think of Danny Markov giving it to him. Of course, is what I think of. But I thought that was awesome, and it's the only game, so we have to talk about it.
Yeah, no, the Pittsburgh Penguins played last night, blew a 3-goal lead to Boston, and lost it 6-5 in overtime. And Buffalo has been a happening place, not just the Bills, but also the Sabres. So that's the one game. We had 12 games last night. Quiet tonight with just the 2. And, hearing that goal, John Tavares, you mentioned on that Austin Matthews goal, in the Greasy area, I love the way the guy plays. I loved watching him as a New York Islander do that. And, the little things that are quiet and unheralded. And then, as you heard Joe and Jim on the call, he took a bit of a hit and then was wide open. And this might have been one that Felix Sandstrom being in goal rather than Carter Hart worked in the Maple Leafs' benefit. Sandstrom has played okay for them before, but he's the backup. Carter Hart has been playing great, played really great last night.
Yeah, he has. You certainly saw Tavares' lacrosse prowess showing off there, working in the in-tight areas. We will see what the second period has in store. Leafs are up 2-1 on the Flyers. Joe and Jim have the call of the second. Coming up next, you're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
A Need Extra Space poem by Access Storage. Ahem. Patty got a paddleboard and Kevin got a canoe. What neither of them realized is that storing is hard to do. Turns out that 9-foot something is much, much bigger than their room. But instead of being sad, here is something they can do. Find an Access Storage location. There's sure to be one near you, and store your items for the season or until the winter's through. Go to Access Storage and you'll be filled with glee. Especially when you sign up now, you can try 4 weeks for free. Visit accessstorage.ca.
Join the sports biz industry November 10th to 12th at the 15th Annual Primetime Sports Management Conference and Trade Show presented by MLSE. Featuring speakers like Sportsnet's very own Carolyn Cameron, alongside Brian Burke of the Pittsburgh Penguins, CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosi, Mark Dittmars of the Toronto Blue Jays, and over 50 more. This is a must-attend event for anyone in the sports industry, with many fantastic opportunities to learn from and network with the leaders in sports. Visit primetimesport.ca to register today.
We're live with NBA Rookie of the Year Scotty Barnes, fresh off the court.
Welcome to the Subway Eat Fresh, Refresh.
Tell us your thoughts on Subway's new rice bowls.
This is news. What if we call it Bowlway?
Okay, how about we take a look at these ingredients?
Seasoned steak, rice, avocado, chipotle sauce.
Delicious.
Bowlway by Scotty. Subway. Eat fresh, refresh.
For limited time, save $3 with code BOWL3 only on the Subway app. Freshly prepared for your order at participating shops. Terms apply.
Keeping construction and mining industries earth-moving equipment at peak performance is a big job. It takes the latest technology, insight, experience, and some incredible people. At SMS Equipment, we roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Grow your career and expertise by working with some of the world's most advanced machines and heavy equipment technologies. SMS Equipment. Big machines, bigger careers. Apply now at smsequipment.com.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
A 4-goal night for Mitch Marner.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Maple Leafs carry a 2-1 lead into the second period. That's the good news. The bad news is when leading after the first period thus far this season, the Maple Leafs are 0-2-1. So, however, I'm just saying on behalf, I'd rather be ahead. Just saying.
I was going to say, what a stupid coaching strategy this was.
Who dreamt this up?
Taking a lead into the second period.
Leafs to the left and the Flyers to the right to start the second period. The goal scorers, Farabee from Konechny and Sanheim to open the scoring. Then Matthews from Tavares and Marner on the power play. Matthews fourth of the year. Tavares is fifth from Nylander and Riley at 18:33 as the Leafs with the lead. Laid down into the Flyers zone right off the bat. The Flyers are able to pick away at it and chip it up on the left wing side. Farabee gets it to the Leaf line and a long shoot. Ooh, got by goaltender Samsonov, but not past the goal post. He seemed to fan on that, and it was a fairly easy shot too, wasn't it? Here's a puck down into the Flyers zone, fed around the boards there by the Leafs bunting. So the Leafs catch a big break on a misplay by Samsonov, but the goalpost saves the bacon.
Well, I think John Tavares scores crossbar in. And at the other end of the ice, Samsonov gets goalpost out.
Riley up ahead, chipped in by Denny Malgin. Out of the net, back of the goal, Sandstrom playing it around on the boards. Leafs get a couple of bodies to the puck, but it comes free. Scott Lawton trying to get it out, and in a fight there at the blue line, it is kept in by Mete. Mete now has it knocked out at center, and a foot race is on. Here's a chance for Scott Lawton trying to get it in front of the net, but a good defensive play made by Morgan Riley. Riley after the puck in the near corner. Flyers play it back to the point. Long shot drifts wide of the Leaf goal. Grabbed off now by Toronto. Fed ahead, but knocked by the Flyers in deep. And Riley will turn with it now. Morgan Riley coming out at center. A bank pass to the line and in, but not very deep. Flyers have it again. Left wing side for keeper Bellows. Bellows with a shot. And this time, Samsonov goes low and swallows that up and hangs on for a face-off in the Toronto zone.
One of the injuries, Kiefer Bellows back up at the Philadelphia Flyers. By the way, one of those first-round picks that we talked about earlier. Former first-rounder to the New York Islanders.
That's amazing there, that many.
Incredible. Sean Couturier's out of the lineup. James Van Riemsdyk. Ken Atkinson is another huge loss up front. The Flyers. John Tortorella obviously coached Atkinson in Columbus.
Draw one by Philadelphia. Sealer with a shot into the glove of goaltender Samsonov and held, and someone's lost a helmet in the exchange. It was Zach McEwen. So the face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the right of Samsonov. Way out at center ice. Flyers were outshot 16-6 in the first period. They've gotten their fourth shot here already in the second stanza as Tavares steals the puck back and saucers it nicely off for Sandin. Sandin quickly ahead on the left wing. It goes to Kerfoot. Kerfoot with a shot. That was blocked before it reached the net. Flyers chipping it off the boards and down into the Leaf end. Sandin will circle around back of the Toronto goal and jam the brakes on. Now he starts up the middle. The pass was well out of the reach of Kerfoot. And an icing call is coming here against the Maple Leafs.
And that's one of the concerns as well, as Leafs are teetering on this panic that has sort of crept into their game. Goaltending has not been an issue yet. That's what you worry about, is maybe being the next shoe to fall, is what happens if all of a sudden bad goaltending just compounds an already difficult situation.
Well, so far so good. A 2-1 Toronto lead. But the Flyers are pressing here in the second period. Samsonov playing it along the boards. Yarncrook made a nice play to free up the puck and gets a return pass. He's at center and across the line. Engvall sends it to the net. The rebound! Trickle to the goal line off Yarncrook. But goaltender Sandstrom was able to recover and get across and cover up.
Do you ever remember, in all your time doing games, 3 Swedish players in the same line? No. Did Hoagland ever play with Matt Sundin and Michael Renberg?
I believe so. Yeah.
I was trying to wrap that around my head a little earlier.
That would have been probably the only time. But at least the communication issue is there.
Yes.
Here the Leafs. Matthews in with a shot. Directed wide of the net by Sandstrom. The puck in front again! And Matthews let it go in a hurry. And it went over top of the net. Flyers get it out at center. Matthews back there to retrieve it. And the Leafs regroup the puck in their own zone. Marner quickly ahead. Matthews chipping it in over the line. Marner will pursue Ristolainen. Ristolainen plays it up on the wing, but it won't clear. Kept in by Toronto. Bouncing puck in front, and Marner couldn't keep it in. And now here are the Flyers across the line. Hayes playing it back of the Toronto net. And it is stolen back by Marner. Marner will give it off to Hall, and now Marner will work his way out of his own zone. Nope, going to drop it back to Hall again. Hall circles back because the Leafs are trying to get their forward complement exchange. Leafs 2 and the Flyers 1. 15:54 left to play in the second period. Malgin across the line. A long shot well wide of the net. Aston Reese couldn't keep it in, but the Leafs do. Backhanded by Camp back of the net. Aston Reese trying to drag it out in front, plays it back to the blue line. Mete walks the line on the wing for Riley. His shot didn't make it past the block in front of the net. And now a penalty is coming here.
Malgin.
And it's going to be to the Maple Leafs. Mitch Dunning and John McIsaac are the referees. Andrew Smith and Jonathan Deshaw, the linesman.
62, minor penalty cross-checking.
All right, so it's going to be Dennis Malgin for the cross-check. And then again, I mean, you like guys to be physical. We get another look at the Austin Matthews opportunity to just off the blocker of Sandstrom, short side. That was a dart from Matthews in the slot, headed just inside the post. Moments later, Malgin takes the penalty for the Leafs. It leads to the Flyers' second power play.
4:32, the time of the penalty. And the draw to the right of Samsonov. Lawton taking the draw for the Flyers, and it's scrummed. Hall took his man down, but the Flyers control the puck. Down the boards comes Tippett. Played into the corner, off the skate. The Leafs get a hold of it and backhanded out into neutral ice. Marner to the bench, so is Camp. Quick change on the penalty killers there. Out comes Tippett. Brought to center with a pass in on the right side. That looked like it might have been close to being offside. Leafs are able to free it up for Kerfoot. Kerfoot punches it ahead for Yarncrook. Yarncrook down the left wing side for the Leafs. Now cutting in with a pass. And he couldn't quite get it to Kerfoot, who was headed to the front of the net. 2 forwards to the bench. Third pair of penalty-killing forwards on for Toronto in Engvall and Aston Reese. To the line, batted back by Toronto into neutral ice. Puck along the boards is played all the way back into the Flyers' end. And 55 seconds remain in the penalty. Flyers organizing in their own zone. The drop pass. Brought on at center. Farabee got it in over the line. It comes back to the point. Provorov off on the wing, trying to work down the boards and in. It goes around back of the net. Provorov will get it back at the blue line. He walks the line, middle of the ice, fed off on the wing, comes back to him again, and a shot deflects wide. The rebound, sharp angle, blocked there by the side of the net as it comes back to the point again. Near side once more, Farabee. Back to Provorov. Pass onto the wing is deflected high, and it's gone into the screen. It astounds me how a lot of teams, and the Leafs are as guilty as this as any. You get the puck in a real good scoring spot, middle of the ice, let's pass it into the corner of the rink and see how that works.
But
Instead of shooting the puck.
But it seems to be on power plays, the mentality is there's got to be something better.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the dating apps on social media. That's all right, but I'm going to keep looking. I want a better look. And then at the end, you say, I think I screwed up.
Down into the Flyer zone it goes, and the penalty is going to... of all of the analogies.
I know.
That one, I understand. Now Nylander steals the puck, he's in! And the shot was kicked away by Sandstrom.
I really got to start writing stuff down, don't I?
No, you really do. Back to the point to Hall. Hall with a shot off the side of the goal. Grabbed off by the Flyers. Ristolainen launches it high into the Leaf end. Brody will skate back, round back of the net, trying to... Wow, and then he's bowled over from behind by Bellows. Flyers after it with a pass in front. Hall intercepts, works it out at center and got it ahead and chipped in by Kerfoot. Down into the corner in the Flyer zone.
When Brody went down, a very dangerous, awkward position. Worried about a neck injury.
Now Marner back the other way, tried to put it through the legs of the player, but it was kicked away, and the Flyers have it again at center. Delorier with a shot that's gone high and even cleared the screen and gone up into the spectators here at Scotiabank Arena. 12:28 left to play in the second period, and the Leafs leading by a score of 2-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
We're two men and a truck. And we've got lots of men and lots of trucks. Whether you're planning a move to a new home or to a new office down the hall, big or small, we move them all. We even sell packing and moving supplies. But no matter what you need, we'll do it with a smile. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. So when you're planning your next move, call Two Men and a Truck.
Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
I'm Jamie. As an elementary school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover and thrive. They need more student supports, like special education resources, mental health services, and extra literacy assistance to realize their full potential. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's KNOWMORE.ca. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
We always manage the puck well. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Hello to everyone listening around the world on the that newfangled thing called the intranet. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph here with the Leafs leading by a 2-1 count, and the second period brought to you by Express Pro. Don't stress about finding a new job. Let Express Employment Professionals help. Visit expresspros.com for good local jobs in a variety of industries. Draw won by Toronto, played around back of the net and feathered up on the wing, and then Engvall trying to get it out. David Camp is able to punch it ahead, and the Leafs have a 2-on-1. Engvall in over the line, a pass in front. Oh, and a great save made by Sandstrom, but what a chance. Going to the net, Aston Reese. Zach Aston Reese into the corner. Comes back to the point, Engvall. Played off by Camp, but the Flyers have intercepted, and it's out at center ice. Sandin will regroup it. Giordano. Back up for Sandin. Through center, a pass just off the stick. And rolling in on the goaltender as it rolled off the stick of Pontus Holmberg, who was trying to split the defense right at the blue line. But what a chance. And then off the goalpost, I guess, too, Ralphie.
Yep. I think Sandstrom gets a piece of it, and it trickles through the pads, off the post. And Aston Reese, the momentum was carrying him past the net, so he was unable to stay with it. Or he would have been able to tap that into an empty goal.
He was applying as much brakes as he could, but he couldn't hold the edge. Flyers around back of the net. Play it up on the wing, and it's going to chip out at center ice. Mete has it knocked further back into the zone. And back of the net, Morgan Riley just did get it freed up. And here's Yarncrook trying to get it back at center, and does. Riley in across the line, and they're going to call offside.
And Melvin was way offside after a collision just at the Philadelphia blue line. A little different feel between the Flyers and Leafs nowadays. They did have some playoff matchups, late 90s, early 2000s, but you go back to the mid-70s. Flyers, Leafs.
You had two skill guys, and then a whole bunch of thugs on both teams.
There were some great series.
Oh, yeah. Pass off a stick, goes down into the Leaf end. Paul gets it up on the wing. Nylander with a little tip for Kerfoot. Kerfoot was skating room, left wing side, in for Tavares, and he couldn't get the shot as it was blocked. Flyers are able to bring it back, and they'll play it down into the zone. Paul loosens it up, but I had to go off the official skate. Now Nylander is able to pull it away. Nylander to the line. Kerfoot kind of got caught between the proverbial rock and hard place. He was ahead of the play. Nylander couldn't get him the puck. And then when he tried to stay on side, he was going to probably interfere with two Flyers.
Or get drilled.
Or get drilled.
If he couldn't get out of the way. But it is amazing how much faster you look coming out of your own zone when that first pass is tape to tape to somebody that's got their feet moving. And then everything else seems to flow with it. We saw that even on the Aston Reese opportunity. Right from the Leaf blue line. You had guys going full speed, and the passes were tape to tape, which led to the scoring chances.
Sedlak plays it down into the Toronto zone. Leafs get it up on the wing for Bunting. He doesn't get it out. Long shot off the shoulder, and a penalty coming to Toronto. I think it's going to be Giordano in front of the net. They are going to call holding here. And the Leaf veteran will go to the penalty box, and that will even things up in the power play department. Predicted adroitly by one of the great analytic minds of this spring sport.
You know what? You know, saves above expected?
Yeah.
I came up with that.
No, your coach did.
No, when I played. Every time I stopped, the scouts would go, wow, didn't expect that. So, I'm not saying I'm a revolutionary or anything, but...
D'Angelo on the wing, Tippett. Back it comes to Tippett once more. Looking for D'Angelo. Goes off a wing. A shot blocked. The rebound comes in front. And the shot is right in front of the Leaf goal. Intercepted by Marner and pushed ahead. Out at center ice, Camp to Marner. Marner with a shot into the chest of Sandstrom, and the puck will go back of the net. Leafs will get a change. Giordano in the penalty box. I think they called it cross-checking. Around back of the net, now into the Leaf zone. Flyers trying to keep the puck in at the line. Just do. Pass it. Oh, what a save! Made by Samsonov. Alone in front of the net. Konechny and the shot blocked, the rebound, and Hall blocks a sure goal now. Takes his man down, the puck along the boards, Yarncrook. What a save by Samsonov.
Well, Justin Halls might have been just as good.
Flyers back to the point. Walking the line with it, D'Angelo. Pass across, and the quick stick of Yarncrook has deflected that down into Flyer territory. 3 Leafs are exchanged, but the pass is in over the line. Flyers in, and the shot went high and wide as Allison broke in the midst of that change for the Maple Leafs. Puck in front of the goal, played out, and the Leafs will get it out at center ice. Brody trying to chop it the rest of the way.
Man, that was a horrible line change for the Leafs. The puck was not deep enough to get 3 guys off.
And around the boards, back in the Toronto zone, 14 seconds in the penalty. Mete frees it up, and it's going to be launched high to center ice. Farabee in on the left wing, but it's a delayed offside. The Leafs will kill off the remainder of the penalty. 3 for 3 in the penalty kill. 1 for 3 on the power play. Here's Aston Reese. Just missed that far post. Leafs keep it in at the blue line. Bounce it in front of the net. Taken to safety by Provorov, and around back of the net it'll come. Out at center, Bellows gets to the line and bounces it down into the Toronto zone. Sandin reverses it around back of the net. Hall chips it a little further. Grabbed off by Matthews and brought to center. Matthews up on the left wing, and into the zone it goes. Delorier took a fairly healthy run at Sandin. Puck comes back into the slot area. Now a pass onto the left wing and a shot high off the blocker of Sandstrom wide of the net. High stick making contact with the puck. And everybody just standing around waiting for it. The faceoff's going to be in the Flyer zone, though, because Philadelphia would not touch it to negate the high stick of the Maple Leafs. At any rate, it is still 2-1 Toronto. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hi, I need to realign my chakras, and I think consolidating my debts into one easy payment would really help. I'd like a loan.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Namaste.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
FSRA license 12616.
Warm up for the season at McDonald's. Starting November 8th, enjoy a medium McCafe premium roast hot or iced coffee for $1 plus tax. Or a medium latte or cappuccino for $2 plus tax. For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
The new More Homes Built Faster Act isn't just about building new homes. It's about building hope and opportunity for newcomers, new buyers, and everyone in Ontario. It will help us overcome our critical lack of housing, reduce housing costs, and allow the building of 1.5 million new homes. That means more jobs, economic growth, and a brighter future. It's the once-in-a-generation housing plan Ontario needs right now. Brought to you by Build and the Ontario Home Builders Association.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310-DELL.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Holy Mackinac right off the bat. Austin Matthews takes it home.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Shots on goal favor the Maple Leafs 23-12 at this point. 7-6 advantage Toronto in the second period. I had to do all of that mathematics right in my head. Here the Leafs with the draw. Nylander on the left wing side and a shot. Oh, trying to find the shot on the near side. And Sandin was there, but the Flyers back the other way, and it grazes the goal post. Out at center ice, Toronto with it again. On the right wing, Nylander. Left wing side, Kerfoot tried to get it in front. Kerfoot drops for Nylander. Into the slot for Sandin. Sandin down into the corner. A shot by Giordano was blocked. Nylander again from an angle. That was blocked. Kerfoot taken to the boards by Scott Lawton, and the Flyers will get it out and play it down into the Toronto end. Kerfoot and Lawton still tangled up down in the Flyer end.
Boy, 2 goal posts here in the second period for the Flyers.
At center, Matthews. Crossed the line, tried to drop it back, and the Leafs in a bad change. Flyers in over with Konechny trying to drive! And a good save made by Samsonov on the short side. Centered in front of the net, and it bounced over Sandheim's stick. Cleared by the Flyers back in and around the boards. It's going to come to center. Marner pinned to the boards, and the puck goes free. Cates works back at center, shoots it in for the Philadelphia Flyers. 2-1 Toronto here in the second. Puck still in the Leaf zone, and Riley goes back. Riley dropping it off. Behind the net is Victor Mete, and Mete starts out of his own zone. Up ahead for Marner. Marner into the left wing corner and stopping at the half wall. Played it into the corner looking for Matthews as it comes back to the blue line. Adam Matthews! Oh, and he one-timed it but off the side of the goal. Mete, far side Riley. Drop past Yarncrook into the corner. Riley again to Matthews. Back to Hall. Hall looked back for Matthews, but he had gone to the bench. And the puck comes back at center ice. Hall looking up ice, has it go off the stick. Grabbed off by Engvall. Back to Hall. Chipped ahead on the right side. A wrist shot taken there. Loose puck comes in front of the goal. Back to Hall, and it's out of his reach. And it's going to come back at center. And Justin Hall's getting an earful here, and I don't think it's deserved. There are times, yeah, but not here. Not what just happened.
Well, he saved the goal moments ago. Did he give up a bad rebound?
Yeah.
Is that what the criticism is?
He tried to make a pass to Matthews, but he'd gone to the bench. Bounced down into the Flyer zone. Laid up on the wing to center. Sandin gets it ahead to David Camp, trying to split the defense. Couldn't get it in. Camp down into the corner. Rubbed out there as it comes along the boards. Centering pass comes back along the near side for Malgin. Malgin shot right into the chest of Felix Sandstrom and held for a face-off in the Flyer zone, and some pushing in there. Aston Reese and one of the Flyers having a little exchange. But a break here with 4:26 to play.
Here's what I'll never understand. You say you're a fan of the team, and in a 2-1 game, you're going to boo a player and make him even more nervous as the game goes on about making a mistake. That's because we love you guys and we want you to do well.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
We're Bet365, the world's favorite sports book. Place your bets before or after the game starts on the biggest sports like hockey, basketball, baseball, football, MMA, and soccer. Here's the best part. Bet365 is now available in Ontario. Download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's #1.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
Hi, I'm Hugh Herron, Chairman of Heathwood Homes. Tradition means a lot to us. Our reputation for quality, service, and customer care are all part of Heathwood's tradition, and that has made us the most successful new home builder. Thousands of people are now proud to be living in a Heathwood home in one of our many outstanding communities, and you can too. Visit heathwood.com to learn all about our fabulous communities. With Heathwood, you'll be home at last.
Peoples of the Internet, I am Algorithm. Call me Al. My job is to take your job. Ha ha, just kidding. I am always full of funny ha ha pranks, like when you browse for an all-wheel drive online. Instead of serving up a capable Subaru to your IP, I deepfake you with a super lame SUV. Ha ha, I am laughing my hashtag off. Ha 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 ha. Funny upside down face.
Don't fall for fakes this fall. Get the real deal. Only at your Subaru dealer.
William Nylander is bringing back Big Willie style.
Getting jiggy with it.
Now more Nylander and Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face-off coming in the Flyers zone to the left of goaltender Felix Sandstrom. The Leafs a year ago were 5-4-1 and had scored 2.5 goals per game and given up 2.90 per game. This year they've scored 2.7 but have given up 3 on average. Here's Nylander. Had it knocked off his stick as the puck comes around the boards on the left wing side, and the Flyers break it out. Down the left wing goes McEwen. He is knocked off stride. Giordano sends it around, and an interference call is coming to Toronto, I think, for taking McEwen down. Now Giordano and Lawton shoving a little bit.
It's actually going to be Willie Nylander. Wow. Now, we talked about those Philadelphia-Toronto playoff series back in the 70s. Imagine this being one of the calls.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Would have incited a bench clearing brawl after.
Fourth power play for the Flyers. Comes at 15:59. The Leafs leading 2-1.
I think it was Zach McEwen tried to jump out of the way of a Sandin hit and sort of into the path of Nylander. And Nylander gets an interference penalty.
Marner unable to get it away from Lawton. Puck comes off the stick back to the point. Kept in by the Flyers. Stolen momentarily and then cleared by the Maple Leafs down the ice. Leafs will get 2 new penalty-killing forwards out there in Yarncrook and Kerfoot, and the Flyers start out of their own zone. To center. Flipped in on the right side there by Konechny. In along the boards. Brody is able to free it up. The puck comes free. Brody pushes it ahead. Kerfoot didn't quite have enough gas to split the defense, but did get it down into the Flyer end and goes to the bench. Third pairing of penalty killers over the boards up front. Leafs intercept the pass. Camp got it free, and Morgan Riley sends it the rest of the way down the ice. 2:54 left in what has been a scoreless second period. Provorov through the neutral zone and in. Had it knocked off his stick, but is able to regain it, send it around to the far side. Leafs intercept, and it's hammered off the boards and down the ice. Flyers go back after it. Provorov starts out. 28 seconds left in the penalty. Drop pass for Farabee. Farabee to the line and in on the left wing. Stolen by the Leafs there on a good play by Hall. And he shoots the puck down the ice. Provorov trying to work his way clear with a dozen seconds. The drop pass from Cates goes to Farabee. In for Cates along the left wing. Good play by Hall to take him right out of the play, and Hall gets it airmailed and out and down the ice.
Hey, this where the Flyers miss Van Riemsdyk.
Now the Leafs intercept the pass in front for you. Oh, and what a shot taken there by Engvall. But Sandstrom was able to get across and take it off the chest protector and then hang on.
It was Austin Matthews who came off the Leaf bench that forced the turnover. And eventually Engvall with a one-timer from the right wing circle. They were saying James Van Riemsdyk, who's out of the lineup with a broken finger for the Flyers and is going to be gone 4 to 6 weeks. He's got 2 of their 6 power play goals.
Wow, he lives there, doesn't he?
Yep.
Really well positioned, and an icing call, just an icing call. With a minute 43 to go, we'll bring a face-off back into the Flyer zone. His hand-eye coordination and big body in front of the net scored a lot of goals in a Leaf uniform by doing just that.
Career year playing alongside Mitch Marner.
Face-off to the right, won by Toronto. Drop pass, Sandin shot in traffic, knocked away. Nylander tries to elude one, can't get it around. The stick came up. I don't know if it ever touched the Flyer player, but the head snap certainly demonstrated that it was close. And we're seeing if McEwen is okay. I don't think
it was McEwen.
I don't think it was him.
I think it was Travis Sanheim.
It was. And the referee goes to McEwen and said, you okay? Are you cut? It wasn't me. It was him.
Well, maybe McEwen said, you can ask him. He speaks English. But, oh my. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Nylander was holding the stick of Sanheim when he snapped his head back. And in fairness to the officials, it makes it very difficult to call when you see guys start to snap their heads back, because if it is an infraction and it could be serious and you don't even call it to begin with, you're going to be criticized a lot more than you are for. I mean, it's a player's way of embellishing without leaving his feet.
Now, Mr. Ralph, just to get your statistical information updated, this is the 4th consecutive power play for Philadelphia. Puck in the Toronto zone, comes back to the blue line. Near side, Tippett. Had some difficulties hanging on to it. Flyers get it back along the boards. Tippett to the far side, and a shot is swallowed up by Ilya Samsonov with less than a minute to go in the period.
What bothers you is with penalties they're taking. You can argue whether they're legitimate penalties or not. They're taking penalties that have nothing to do with defending your own net and trying to take away scoring chances. As Nylander's second one of the period, second in a row, comes right behind the Philadelphia goal.
Draw to the left of Samsonov. And waved out is Scott Laughton. Claude Giroux, of course, a trade deadline acquisition or dealt by the Flyers last year, and now unable to keep it in. DeAngelo and have to come back to center.
Owen Tippett was part of that deal. Come back to Philadelphia. Another first-round pick.
Out at center ice comes the Leafs now, and across the line, working in is Yarncrook, and can't get a shot away, and Morgan Riley takes it all the way back into his own zone. Could have been an interference penalty there when the Flyer thought that one of the Leafs, and I think it might have been Kerfoot, had the puck, and he was drilled into the sideboards. The puck was 30 feet away from him. 14 seconds left in the period. Flyers to center, to the line, and in with a shot. Good pad save made by Samsonov. Rebound into the corner. It is scrummed there. 1 second left, and the Leafs are going to get the rest of the period eaten up.
Well, that was Travis Konechny that had the great opportunity coming over the line, sifting through 3 Leafs and getting the shot away. The Leafs still have doubled the Flyers in shots at 30-15, but this period, I would say, is a little more evenly played than we saw in the opening 20 minutes. And Ilya Samsonov made some big stops, but a couple of goalposts didn't hurt either.
And Justin Hall made a pretty good save, too.
Yeah. So, but obviously, because of the crowd, a bad rebound that they were unhappy with.
So the Leafs lead 2-1, but have outplayed the Flyers, as Jimmy mentioned, out shooting them 30-15. Gord Stellick, Brent Gunning coming along. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's not goodbye forever. It's goodbye for now. I know. But Access Storage is going to take such good care of you. Oh, it never gets easier.
Safely store your summer treasures before the snow flies at Access Storage, and don't say goodbye. Say, see you soon, paddleboard, ATV, and mountain bike. Access Storage. Affordable and safe storage solutions at a location near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Shop Canadian, store Canadian.
Are you over 18? You may be eligible to receive your COVID-19 bivalent booster at Shoppers Drug Mart. Book today at shoppersdrugmart.ca/COVID. Subject to vaccine availability. Ontario only. Limitations apply.
Did you hear? Wendy's Dave Single is now just $4. This juicy gossip is hot off the press, like our fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. The Dave Single is just $4 until November 6th at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell to emergency. Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell, please call extension 385.
Federal funding has fallen to just 22% of the cost of healthcare in Canada, and it continues to decline. Provinces and territories are doing their part, but we need the federal government to restore funding now to keep our systems strong. A message from Canada's premiers.
This goes out to all the safe drivers, to the drivers who live in harmony with cyclists, the ones who leave so much space between other cars they never have to read a bumper sticker, and those who drive slower in fog, snow, rain, and construction, which happen to be Canada's 4 seasons. With CAA Insurance, your history of safe driving could get you savings on car insurance, because you've earned it. If you're a safe driver, visit I'veEarnedIt.com to learn more. Auto insurance is underwritten by CAA Insurance Company.
Ontario has a plan to get students caught up. It starts with kids back in the classroom all year, with sports, clubs, and field trips. It includes new tutoring supports and teaching new experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math, so students have the skills they need for the jobs of tomorrow. See our plan at ontario.ca/catchup. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Here's a question. Why is it called fine print? Kind of seems like it's not really all that fine after all. Plus, it's really confusing. I didn't think I'd need a law degree to sign up for a phone plan. That's why I like Public Mobile. They don't have fine print because they don't do long-term contracts. If I want to change my plan, I don't have to make a case for it. I can just change it online all by myself. When it comes to your phone expectations, don't get called to the bar, raise it. Public Mobile. Mobility on your terms.
Your independently owned and operated Meineke Car Care Center is here to keep your car road ready. From tires and brakes to exhaust and engine repair, Meineke is your one-stop shop for total car care. Get a basic oil change starting at $39.95 or a seasonal tire changeover starting at $49.95. Plus, get 50% off an alignment when you purchase 4 tires. Book your appointment at Meineke.ca. Terms and conditions apply. Engine, brakes, tires, oil, Meineke, doing car care right.
Mitch Marner makes magic moves for the Maple Leafs.
What a bit of wizardry there from 16!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Trying to keep the puck in at the line. Just do. Pass it. Oh, what a save! Made by Samsonov. Alone in front of the net. Konechny and the shot blocked, the rebound, and Hall blocks a sure goal now.
Leafs Nation, Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick alongside me here. Leafs up 2-1 on the Flyers now after 40 minutes. Ilya Samsonov, it was a little helter-skelter at the start of that second period. He certainly had to be better there, and, there is one of the 14 saves he's made thus far this evening, Gord.
Yeah, and kind of a period. Leafs have outshot Philadelphia 2-1. It's 30-15, like you said. They're up 2-1. It's they're playing differently and better than they played against Anaheim the other night, but they had a 2-goal lead against Anaheim. And you got, again, this is kind of the funk they're in, and hopefully they can close the deal. You heard a key part of Joe Bowen's call, and I'm a little concerned. Justin Hall made a great block on that play. Justin Hall had a couple scoring chances earlier on. Justin Hall had a horrible shift, and because of all that's gone on, the crowd started that, it's that ugliness, that oh my goodness. And there's a history of honing in on defensemen and singling them out for every venue, whatever. I mean, Brian McCabe years ago, right? So I hope that doesn't be the case. I don't think anyone can hear us so much in the arena, but just about try to. We know Justin Hall's had a tough time.
We're pleading with you, please.
But look at his entire body of work today, and there's more than that shift that, I mean, that was kind of a quick, booable shift, but I felt the crescendo coming. So anyway, the best thing about that is get that third goal or hang on or whatever it may be and come out with the W.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Hall made a few crucial plays on the penalty kills that they had to kill off a couple of late in the period. Courtesy William Nylander there. It's funny. We always talk about the things that, and for so long, back-to-back penalties at the end of a period, we would spend the whole intermission talking about Nylander and what is he doing? You got got to play smarter than that. But because of the way he's performed, and quite frankly, because we've got a little more familiar with the player, we can just kind of roll our eyes and go, oh, Willie, once again, a couple of penalties at the end there.
Plus they've killed them off,
and they killed them off. That always is huge there, too. But, to your point about Justin Hall there, anytime you have a team that's as offensively skilled as this team looks like tonight, it's been really nice to see this version of them. And then you just have the puck kind of dying on a guy's stick. It is going to lead to some irksome moments from the fan base there. But, yes, hopefully we can remind everybody about the quality things that Justin Hall does as well there.
Well, it did tonight anyway. I agree he's had a tough time, but I just mean tonight. There's more complete than that one unfortunate shift.
Austin Matthews, he has a goal to show for tonight, but more than that, he just looks like a much more dangerous player. The player we're used to seeing, the improved physicality out of him, that's been something that's coming, over the last couple of years. Ran over a Flyer in the corner here. He has got 4, 5, 6 grade A, great looks tonight, and it's just nice to see him kind of coming. Earlier on in the year when the chances weren't there, you're saying, okay, he's Austin Matthews, they'll come. But you weren't seeing the chances, at least right now, and I know he has the goal as well, but you're really seeing him just generate chance after chance after chance.
Yeah, and was it Engvall that had the one? I still don't understand how that one didn't go in.
Or Aston Reese, sorry.
But, so there's so many of them, but also, man, the Flyers hit a post.
Yes.
The Flyers, Justin Hall blocked a wide open net to a point, and so it's kind of been equal, even though the Leafs have had the edge in shots. So it's one of these that you're very happy the way the Leafs have played after 40 minutes, but also their inability to close has been worrisome. So this will be a good test, because after this, Boston comes here Saturday. They go to Carolina on Sunday. They play Vegas on Tuesday. Save for the two teams that made it to the Stanley Cup final last year, you can't get three more difficult opponents.
No, you can't. The Leafs certainly going to have their hands full, and that started tonight with a Flyers team that, they've dropped a couple straight, but have played much differently than you would have expected. Leafs have doubled up the Flyers on the scoreboard. It is 2-1 after 40 minutes. They've also doubled them up in shots, 30-15 there. Gord, we are going to take a look at the lone other game on the second half of the intermission here, but if there's one thing for the Leafs in the third period that you're looking for, what is it?
Well, I like, unlike, say, the Anaheim game or a lot of games on the 4-game road trip, I've liked the consistency they played the first two periods. I've liked the four lines, the way they've all played, the depth in that. So really, they should be up by more, but all you can do is keep playing the way you're playing, and then it should happen. Not what happened the other night against Anaheim, because that was too loosey-goosey. It wasn't a game that they were embracing, and they paid for it at the end. So here, that's really all you can do. If you get an unfortunate bounce that doesn't go your way, whatever, see what gets. But they got to find ways to win games. Just in general, and whether it's a big win at some point, which seemed to be hard to come by, it just seems they're more of the closer nature. And hey, maybe like Buffalo did to Detroit on Monday, what they got, like 5 goals or 4 goals in the third period, you can kind of open it up there. But that's what they really have to do. I like the way they're playing for a change.
Yeah, let's see if they can keep it up for 20 more minutes here. Normally I say at least 20 more minutes, but I'd be good. Let's just have 20 more minutes left in this game. That is Gord Stellick. I'm Brent Gunning. We'll be back with a little bit more of the second intermission. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Pavlov's dog proved the power of predictable results. And for that, Ivan Pavlov received the Nobel Prize. Now Nick Pavlov, broker RE/MAX West, also receives awards, also for predictable results. So have the award-winning Nick Pavlov real estate team provide a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a callback. You need a job. Express Employment Professionals can help. We'll connect you to the right company. We're committed to your success and never charge a fee to find you a job. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Find your location at expresspros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
I'm Jamie. As an elementary school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover and succeed. They need a learning recovery plan that provides the focused and individual attention they deserve. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's KNOWMORE.ca. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Hi, I'm Hugh Heron from Heathwood Homes. I want to talk to you about our great country, Canada. It's a land of opportunity and a place I call home. For 50 years, Heathwood has been committed to building each home with the very best new technologies, ensuring that your home will be more energy efficient and sustainable than ever. Visit our communities at heathwood.com. At Heathwood, you will be home at last.
We're two men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're two men in a truck.
Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Into the slot, a penalty coming, and the rebound scores! Michael Bunting made no mistake.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick here with you at Scotiabank Arena for the second intermission. Leafs outshooting the Flyers 30-15. They are also outscoring them 2-1. That's really the more important number. I really should have led with that one. It's okay. We'll get there, Gord. It's still early on. That's what everyone keeps telling me anyways when these people have their struggles. We always like to take a look around the NHL scoreboard. Brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or game outcomes across many different sports. 19+, play responsible, Ontario only. Just one game on the go outside of this one. Again, I will remind you, it is a 2-1 Leafs lead after 40 minutes here at Scotiabank. The only other game is in Buffalo, so not far down the QEW. Penguins are now up 2-0 on the Sabres there. Jason Zucker and Josh Archibald with the goal scored.
I mentioned Penguins' tough loss last night after being 5-2 against Boston. I see they're in the third now, no score in the World Series game. I don't know if anyone will give up 5 home runs tonight like last night. That was kind of intriguing in watching 12 NHL games around there. So, yeah, Pittsburgh kind of needs that game more than Buffalo right now. So we'll see how it plays out in the third period and or late in the second and the third. And, yeah, here as well. Like I don't have the bad feeling like we had when we watched the game Sunday, just about sloppy.
That feels like a kiss of death.
Yeah, well, no, it's Sunday, just about the haphazard way they seem to be going. They've had structure and discipline. A solid 40 minutes. More should go in, and hopefully that is the case in period number 3. This could have been an ugly night. It still could be. And I'm being optimistic rather than pessimistic, but like I said, the crowd getting on Justin Hall that one time. The crowd's been real positive, but it won't take much to kind of flip, so they really do need this win.
No, it won't. Good news, William Nylander did his part to get the Leafs on the right side of the penalty ledger, so I don't know, maybe they're owed one early on in the third. We will be back for Leafs Nation postgame, hopefully following a Leafs win. Leafs are up 2-1 on the Flyers after 40 minutes here. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hi, I'm looking to upgrade my kitchen.
Bathroom, Mom. We need an extra bathroom.
Emily, hang up.
Ugh, this is so unfair.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I need a loan for some home renos.
Well, do you own your home?
Of course. I'm the owner.
Then you're approved. Enjoy your new kitchen.
Bathroom!
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
Visual license 12616. Ugh.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova.
Ciao, I'm Dom
Dominic Primucci with a Pizza Nova Insider's Tip. For a tastier pizza, order it well done. It just tastes better. So come on, think Italian and taste the difference.
Oh, Pizza Nova, pick up the phone and get it now. 439-444 Pizza Nova. 439-444 Pizza Nova.
The new More Homes Built Faster Act isn't just about building new homes. It's about building hope and opportunity for newcomers, new buyers, and everyone in Ontario. It will help us overcome our critical lack of housing, reduce housing costs, and allow the building of 1.5 million new homes. That means more jobs, economic growth, and a brighter future. It's the once-in-a-generation housing plan Ontario needs right now. Brought to you by Build and the Ontario Home Builders Association.
Finding a job in today's market can be a challenge. Whether you're looking for work or wanting to change your career direction, JVS Toronto will help you get the right job. Together with JVS Toronto employment experts, you'll explore new job options, create a strong resume, build an appealing online profile, prepare for job interviews, and connect with employers, all for free. Your job is waiting for you. JVS Toronto will help you find it. Get started today. For more information, visit jvstoronto.org.
Get loud for the Leafs.
Holy mackerel! What a shot!
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
All of the scoring in the first period. Farabee opened it for the Flyers, but Matthews on a power play, and John Tavares, who has had a multi-point game for the third time this year, goal and an assist. And at the end of 2 periods of play after a scoreless second, it is 2-1 Toronto. And the Flyers have been outshot 30-15, but if you're John Tortorella, you say, hey, win 20 minutes and we're right here. So the Leafs have some work to do. They have some work on the penalty kill to do. 27 seconds left in Nylander's second penalty. He didn't have a penalty coming into tonight's game. He's had 2 of them here, both in the second period.
Let's not forget the Flyers had a couple of goal posts in the second period as well. John Tavares' goal went off the crossbar and perfectly into the back of the net.
Now the Flyers break right in off the rebound. What a save by Samsonov! Save of the year! Samsonov had to go from his left to his right. Spread out, got that left pad out, and a brilliant save made by the Maple Leaf goaltender to keep the score at 2-1 as D'Angelo is turned aside.
What happens here is Justin Hall is playing the right wing position off the opening faceoff. He gets tied up off the draw. So now that creates, because Philly wins the draw, an odd man rush. Rasmus Sundin was able to get over and help a bit. But 2 lanes opened up quickly off the opening faceoff for Philadelphia.
Flyers back now with 7 seconds left in the penalty. They hit the Leaf blue line, and I was going to call that offside, but I didn't have to because Andrew Smith did, and he has a whistle.
Well, I would take your voice over any whistle anytime.
It's that shrill, isn't it?
That's a compliment.
Yeah, I'll take that right there as the compliment. Thanks.
As dogs in Scarborough are howling.
Leafs ice the puck and the penalty door opens, and they're back at full strength. Puck in the center ice area. Flyers, Ristolainen playing it up on the wing, intercepted by Tavares, brought back in over the line, trying to work into the left wing corner, taken to the boards. Puck is poked free back of the net by Scott Lawton, and now here are the Flyers with it at center. A pass for Ristolainen on the right side, and a long shot that went off. I'm not so sure that didn't hit the post in behind Samsonov. Leafs come back to counter, and the shot by Kerfoot was well wide.
Boy, as great as that save was to start the period, that one kind of sent chills down your spine.
Marner breaking back on the left wing in the middle of a line change. Drops it off on the right wing side. A shot! Backhand shot. What a chance there Matthews had. And he had gone just a little bit too far from the far post behind the net. could not reach back to tuck it in. And Felix Sandstrom was able to get a glove on it and hang on.
Well, you got to take another look at the opportunity by the Philadelphia Flyers. Ristolainen just threw it towards the net. Man, this looked like, I don't know how it didn't go in. It seemed to go under the right arm of Samsonov.
Giordano plays it into the corner off the faceoff. Leafs Matthews gets it back to Sandin. Sandin to Giordano. Giordano with a drive. Oh, and he just missed. Matthews on the far boards. Back to Sandin. Wrist shot coming. Oh, that came up and struck one of the Flyers in the face. And quickly heading over towards the bench. I believe this is Owen Tippett.
Yes, you're right. And Tippett, fortunately, goes right to the Flyer bench and not the dressing room.
I don't know if he's been, well, now he's just sitting on the bench. I don't even know if he was cut. Although, no, the trainer's got a hand up.
Yeah, it looks like he had to readjust his visor anyway. Oh, yeah, this caught him like right in the forehead. So right where the visor meets the helmet. Said the good news is he's not forced to go to the dressing room right away.
Face off in the Flyer zone. Holmberg scrum the draw, the puck along the wall. Engvall couldn't come up with it. Played down into the Toronto zone, and a weak shot went well wide of the net. Leafs trying to punch the puck out at center. Sandin got it ahead for Engvall. Engvall in on the left wing. Backhanded it. Couldn't get it in deep. And the Flyers have it right back. Lisinski sends a long shoot in on Samsonov, who will play it into the corner. Leafs intercept. Got it ahead. Engvall ahead for Holmberg. He's going to send it in, and that'll signal a change of players as the Flyers go back to retrieve the puck. Lisinski getting it ahead, and he'll flip it off a stick and down into the Toronto zone. Delorier into the forecheck. Leafs get away from him. Camp got it ahead. Nicely played off the skates then by Aston Reese. Ahead it goes to Malgin. Malgin got a return pass in front. Aston Reese scores! Danny Malgin had a first shot blocked, but his second shot got through, and the rebound was there for Aston Reese. And he hammers it home, and the Leafs have a 3-1 lead.
You're right. Multiple times just trying to get it to the net. Even the second one, Joe, the second attempt by Malgin goes off a skate and perfectly across to the left of the Flyers goaltender and onto the stick of Aston Reese, who has an empty cage to throw it into.
First goal is a Maple Leaf.
First point.
Okay. But I think goal is more important, you not?
Yeah. Oh. I'm with you.
You didn't even let me.
Providing color.
First goal as a Maple Leaf for Zach Aston Reese.
And his first point.
Thank
Joe.
you. See? Was it that difficult? No. Back down into the Flyers zone.
I don't do rehearsals, so you know.
Oh, really? You mean all of this is just ad-lib? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. You think Abbott and Costello rehearsed? No. Back into the Flyer zone. It comes up on the right wing side. McEwen couldn't get into the zone cleanly, and Morgan Riley has it. And the Leafs have a 2-goal lead. Matthews in across the line. Marner got upended and lost the handle on the puck, and then his centering pass is easily intercepted. Flyers back to the Leaf blue line. Turned aside by the back checking of Marner, and the Flyers have to go back into their own zone. Here's Matthews stealing the puck. He goes into the net, and a backhand went over top of the goal. Flyers back into the Leaf zone. Going wide, trying to work in front of the net is Tippett, and the pass comes to the near wing. Chipped around the boards to the far side. Allison keeping it alive for the Flyers. Into the corner for Scott Lawton. He'll play it back to the Toronto net to the near corner. And the Leafs are onto it there. Good play there by Holmberg to free it up. And Pontus Holmberg will get it to center. Racing in over the line. Yarncrook, but he couldn't steal the puck from the Flyer defense. Philadelphia back the other way. Wade Allison down into the corner. Brody takes him out efficiently. Engvall running into a traffic jam and left it there for Sandin. And Sandin gets it airmailed high to center ice. Nick Seeler lost the handle on it. Leafs back the other way. And a shot taken there by Malgin goes off his stick and up into the screen and out of play. 14:52 to play in the third period. The Leafs have a little bit of breathing room with a 3-1 lead on the first goal and first point in a Leaf uniform of Zach Aston Reese.
You are correct, sir.
Thanks.
Anyway, the Leafs an advantage in the face-off dot tonight as well, 57%. That's really another, maybe kind of an underrated stat where the Leafs have struggled this year. Where they've been
and they were so good
recently.
a year ago. Yep, there's a face-off win. But Malgin's weak shot went wide. Camp back of the net for Aston Reese. Bank pass to the blue line and a pass in front of the net looking for Malgin. Didn't work, but the Leafs are onto it again. Camp in against the end boards is knocked down on the play. Puck comes free, but they're going to call a glove pass. And so a face-off will come outside the blue line. And 14:32 remain here in the third period. 3-1, Toronto.
John Tavares has won 7 of 10 face-offs taken so far tonight. Austin Matthews 6 of 10.
The red-hot Boston Bruins arrive in town for the Leafs' next game, which is this Saturday.
You talked about a core. I mean, I guess you can take Krejci out of the lineup from last year. Zdeno Chara no longer there, but Bergeron, Pastrnak, Marchand just back, started injured.
Here the Leafs, Tavares in, trying to slip it in for Nylander, heading to the front of the net. Bruins are 9-1, 18 points thus far. Leafs into the neutral zone. Kerfoot trying to kick the puck back to his defense, but couldn't. Now 3 of the Leafs are working up against the boards, but unable to come up with it. The Flyers will backpedal it into their own zone. D'Angelo, a pass off a stick and into the zone for Zach McEwen. McEwen around back to the net. Puck goes free for Farabee, trying to center. McEwen's backhand, stopped and smothered by Samsonov to bring a face-off in the Toronto zone when we return. The Leafs 3, the Philadelphia Flyers 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310-DELL.
Warm up for the season at McDonald's. Starting November 8th, enjoy a medium McCafe premium roast hot or iced coffee for $1 plus tax. Or a medium latte or cappuccino for $2 plus tax. For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
This is the time. This is banner season in Ontario University Athletics, when our province's elite-level athletes give it their all to experience the joy of achievement, to bring glory to their school, and to be there when the championship banner is raised to the rafters. Visit OUA.ca for championship dates and locations to attend a championship near you, or watch for free on OUA.tv.
When we heard Ignite was Rogers' fastest home internet, we knew it was made for us. Kids, we just started streaming that new show. Lily, come on down.
Mom, I told you, I'm doing research for school.
You know we follow your account, right? Cute new post.
Be right down.
Get our fastest Ignite internet backed by our Wi-Fi satisfaction guarantee, starting at $64.99 for a limited time. Visit Rogers.com or a local store for details.
Here, the the ice is always tilted in your favor. This is where the Leafs play. You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the right. Goaltender Ilya Samsonov, who has faced 19 Flyer shots, surrendered the opening goal of the game. The Leafs have scored the next 3 on 32 shots. And the face-off coming to Samsonov's right.
Samsonov has looked incredibly confident at times, and at other times, I don't know if I've seen such a drastic change in one game in a goaltender.
Bouncing puck comes to the near wing. Flyers backhanded into the corner. They try to work the boards there. Knocked off stride with Scott Lawton, but a penalty is coming to Toronto. Mr. Ralph, do I need to point this out again to you? This is the 5th consecutive penalty against Toronto. You always say it'll even up, it'll even up. Very disappointed in your analytics.
Hey, we're not done yet. What are we at now? 6-3?
Yes.
No. Philly will take 2 late ones with the game out of hand.
Oh. All right.
And then it'll come in, well, it might be 1, but it'll come in at 6-4, 6-5.
Okay. Tavares in the box. Flyers to the power play. Into the corner. Trying to play it back. Nicely intercepted there by David Camp, who took it away from Scott Lawton and sends it out and down the ice.
And the Leafs are fortunate to have the 3-1 lead right now. And smart-ass comments aside, when the Leafs took the first 2 power plays, you knew something was coming the other way.
Lawton shoots and scores off the rush. I'm not so sure that didn't go off a Leaf stick and change direction on Samsonov.
Well, we got to hope it did. Samsonov.
It wasn't Lawton. I'm sorry, it was Owen Tippett. 74.
I'm going to take a look at it from behind. It seemed like kind of a. Well, I don't think this touches anything, Joe. Now Tippett, right-handed shot on the left wing side, takes the pass on the backhand and then quickly goes forehand and delivers it to the net. This doesn't touch a thing.
So on the 6th power play opportunity and the 5th in a row for the Flyers, Tippett scores his 2nd goal of the season.
And would you not agree that it's not surprising because Samsonov, I mean, has made some huge stops, but has looked shaky on shots coming off the wing.
Played to the blue line in the Flyers zone. Matthews unable to chip it in deeper. Now he does. Marner trying to bull his way past Lucas Sedlak. Got taken into the corner. Marner unable to free it up. And now the Flyers, one of them limping, trying to get to the bench. As Sedlak was there, and as the puck rolls to the goaltender, Sandstrom covers up. Sedlak was hollering for a penalty again.
Well, when you come out of a losing streak, whether it's this game or the next one, the hockey gods seldom let you do it easily. As the Leafs find themselves back in another 1-goal game in the 3rd period. They had a 3-1 lead against Anaheim on Sunday night in the 3rd. And ended up losing that one in overtime. And we're probably fortunate that a goal was called back from the Ducks and allowed the Leafs to at least pick up a point.
Face off to the right of Felix Sandstrom in the Flyer goal. Camp got the puck to the near wing. Malgin couldn't come up with it. Aston Reese along the boards. Malgin is able to come free with it back to the blue line. Wrist shot is into the chest of Sandstrom and held for a face-off by the Flyer netminder. Tippett from Konechny.
And
scoring play.
This building that was giddy a few moments ago at 2:49 of the 3rd period, and Aston Reese scored his first and put the Leafs up 3-1. And giddiness has now turned to concern in this crowd as Owen Tippett's 2nd of the season has brought the Flyers back to within 1.
Nylander coming over the boards to play on the right wing here as Malgin goes to the bench with a skate issue, I believe. And the puck is back of the Flyer goal as it's played up on the near wing. Chipped out at center. A race for the puck now, and here's Tippett. Got to the line and couldn't get in cleanly. Now the Flyers have just dumped it in and have to tag up. Hall. A pass out at center. Off a stick. Comes to center ice. The Flyers bring it back in on the wing and can't get a shot away. Leafs countering and bringing it to center. Aston Reese. He'll wire it around the boards to the far side. Played by Sealer back of the net. Camp in against the boards. Tried to center. He had a man out in front but never made contact with the puck. Now a hand pass or something whistled down by the linesman in front of the Flyer bench.
Puck may have actually gone into the Flyer bench.
Maybe
for the face-off.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll stay out in the center ice area.
11:24 to go here in the third. The Leafs leading 3-2.
And you really do hope for that penalty, the power play, to go the Leafs' way here in the third period. Kill off some time and give them that opportunity to regain that 2-goal lead. It's funny, you can just feel the nervousness in the crowd, right? Now everybody's become a spectator as opposed to a fan.
Pontus Holmberg out with Engvall and Yarncrook. Shot down into the Toronto zone and an icing call against the Flyers. They'll bring it all the way back into the Philadelphia zone.
Flyers, by the way, got off to a 4-1 start, including winning the first 3 games of the regular season. Surprised a lot of people. And to do it with so many injuries, an injured list that has grown since the start of the season, with Van Riemsdyk joining that list. Couturier, Sean Couturier, one of the bright young players for the Flyers. Could be done for the season.
Here's a shot by Holmberg, but it went high and wide of the goal. Kept in at the blue line by Sandin. He was run by Delorier. And now the Flyers back in their own zone. Provorov sending it around to the near side for D'Angelo, who gets it ahead at center. Leafs, good play by Sandin to halt Delorier, and the Leafs are back in their own zone.
I think that was more interference than the Nylander call in the second period.
I agree. Pass up on the left wing. Engvall to center. Diagonal shooting into the right wing corner. Tavares got there back at the net. Couldn't come up with it though. And the Flyers have it now and backhanded out and down the ice. Will not have enough to go for icing. Sandin has to go back for it. Sends it around the wall. It'll come out at center. Tipped by Tavares down into the Flyer end. But this is going to be icing. And it'll come back into the Maple Leaf zone.
34-20 the shots favoring the Leafs. How are you feeling about Ilya Samsonov right now? Well, like we said, I mean, he's made some great stops in close.
The pad save he made in this period is one of the best of the year.
But yet, 3 times off the angle, including one from well out in the second period off the post. Have me a little bit nervous for him.
Down into the corner in the Leaf zone. Riley trying to get it away from Farabee. Now McEwen pokes it back towards the blue line, and the Leafs get it out. Nylander just flipping it down into the zone, and they're going to change. 9:55 left to play in the third period. Austin Matthews over the boards as a long bouncing shot in on goal is covered up by Samsonov. That was a tricky hop in front of him, and he played it rather well, I thought. But a face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the right. And there'll be, I thought we were going to go to a commercial break, but apparently not.
Thank God we're in the building to be able to, we might have thrown to it.
I think so. Face off to the right of Ilya Samsonov. And the draw scrum, the Flyers carry into the corner. Tippett taken off stride there by Brody. The puck was back in along the wall. Konechny and Brody after it again. The puck comes free, poked up on the wing, but not out. Chipped in there once more by Ristolainen. Around back of the net. Hall looks up ice for the Maple Leafs. Pass ahead for Marner didn't work. And the Flyers will play it back to the Toronto blue line. Hall skates to the far boards. Plays it up ahead at center. Chopped ahead for Bunting. He can't control it. Ristolainen back the other way. Good break up there in front of the net by the Leafs. Played around back of the goal, and now Toronto starting out with it. A pass ahead for the Leafs and over the line for Malgin. Malgin, a nifty move, and got a shot away, and a good save made by Sandstrom. Back of the goal, Aston Reese. Knocked off stride. The puck comes to the blue line. Leafs unable to keep it in. And now Giordano sends to an open wing, and the Flyers will punch it out at center. To the Leaf blue line and in. Good defensive play made there by Toronto. Camp starts back with Aston Reese. Reese back for Camp out of his reach. It'll go deep into Flyer territory. Both teams changing up front. Flyers back to the Leaf blue line. Bellows was ridden off the disc. Victor Mete skates out at center, tried to flip it ahead, and the Flyers were able to knock that out of midair and send it into the Toronto bench. And a stoppage of play now, and we will go to a commercial break with 8:15 left to play in the third. Toronto 3, Philadelphia 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Pavlov's dog proved that irresistible incentives bring predictable results. Now, Nick Pavlov, broker RE/MAX West, is proving it again. With perfect staging, pinpoint accurate pricing, intimate Toronto neighborhood knowledge, the Nick Pavlov real estate team will achieve a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
Right now.
Right meow.
There are deeply fake SUVs pretending to be as capable as a Subaru.
Smubaru.
But if you want symmetrical...
Schmeometrical.
all-wheel drive...
Me all-wheel drive.
And award-winning safety, forget what the copycats are saying.
Who, me? You?
Yes, me you. Insist on the original and don't fall for fakes this fall. Get the real deal from your Smubaru dealer. Subaru dealer.
Hi, I'm Hugh Herron, chairman of Heathwood Homes. Tradition means a lot to us. Our reputation for quality, service, and customer care are all part of Heathwood's tradition, and that has made us the most successful new home builder. Thousands of people are now proud to be living in a Heathwood home in one of our many outstanding communities, and you can too. Visit heathwood.com to learn all about our fabulous communities. With Heathwood, you'll be home at last.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Scores! David Camp in front of the net!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Couple of assists to add to the scoring. Aston Reese's goal now assisted by Malgin and Camp. And Tippett's goal for the Flyers from Konechny and Luck. And a one-goal game here as it's played around the boards to the far side. Bounces in front of the Toronto net, but stolen back, and now Matthews starts out. Matthews to center. Launches it high into the far corner. Marner in pursuit around back of the net. Can't get to it. Flyers are able to punch it out at center. Riley got a piece of it, but it goes down into the corner, and Sedlak in there as it comes around on the boards for Bunting. Bunting swings it around the wall to the far side, but it's not going to clear. Kept alive now by the Flyers, but Matthews trying to get it out. He has it knocked away. Marner takes a pass from his goaltender and then gives it back to the defense. A feed ahead, and Marner starts out with a feed up on the right side for Tavares. Tavares in. Tavares, a nifty little move. Comes right out in front. Scores! Holy mackerel, what a play! The captain restores the two-goal lead.
And Mitch Marner is going to pick up a primary assist 10 seconds after going to the bench and sitting down. Marner made a nice move around center. Went around the Flyer, found Tavares on the right wing side. Marner goes to the bench, and Tavares continued down. Pulled up, danced around the Philadelphia defenseman Travis Sanheim, then took it to the net. Tried to jam it around the right pad of the Flyer goaltender. Sandstrom was stopped but stayed with it and got the rebound, and the Leafs have regained the 2-goal lead. It's 4-2.
Now McEwen with a shot that went off of Samsonov, and he had to cover up on that. And then Tavares gets in a little shoving match with one of the Flyers. He and Lawton having words. And it will be a face-off in the Toronto zone.
Flyers have some toughness out on this shift. Jack McEwen out there stirring things up. Travis Sanheim got absolutely undressed by John Tavares. But it is funny where you're going to see Mitch Marner's got to be sitting there for 7 or 8 seconds saying, boy, JT, go. And pick up an assist, but not a plus.
Lawton is from Oakville. Tavares has lived out that neck of the woods. Growing up, I'm sure they know each other, as a shot deflects into the corner down in the Toronto zone. 6:55 to play in the third. The 2-goal lead is back, and the Leafs are breaking 3 abreast at center. A pass onto the left wing, trying to find Engvall, went off a stick. It's a delayed offside. The Flyers get it out. Konechny unable to get by the defense. Camp, left wing side, in across the line for Yarncrook. He steers it deep into the Flyer zone. Mete gets an assist on the goal as it is played down into the Toronto end. And for Victor Mete, that's his first point as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Not as good as Aston Reese's first point.
No, because Aston Reese got a goal. Puck comes back to the point. Flyers can't keep it in, and D'Angelo gets it down the ice.
Just remembering what you said.
What? No.
Now, isn't it funny? You'd be looking at the box scores of this game. See, Marner gets an assist, but not a plus when the goal was scored.
Shot. Oh, good pad save made by Samsonov's left leg there. Puck back to the Toronto goal. Grabbed off by, and then it comes up and strikes Sandin in the face. No stoppage of play, and the Leafs are fortunate to get it out. Denny Malgin hustling after it, but can't come away with it. And the Flyers have it in their own zone. Up on the left wing for McEwen. McEwen trying to get around Brody and failing. A centering pass blocked at the short side by Samsonov. And a penalty coming to the Flyers. Did you have anything to do with that?
I know some people.
Unfortunately, those people also know you.
Yeah. And yet, sometimes it works out, and this is going to be a tripping penalty. Although I think TJ Brody did a pretty good job of selling it, but the Leafs will go to the power play.
14:46, the time of the penalty. We're back with it as the Leafs lead by a score of 4-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Fall is here. Drive the best of all worlds at Don Valley North Lexus. Now is the time to take advantage of these incredible offers. Right now, lease the 2022 RX 350 Executive Package from just $398 bi-weekly for 40 months at 4.5%. They're here, in stock, and available for immediate delivery while supplies last. Expect excellence online and in the showroom. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com.
Don Valley North.
Proud member of the Wayne's Auto Group.
Get in, boy.
The Intact Insurance app is your perfect driving companion. It's got Crash Assist, which automatically detects a crash, a handy proof of insurance, and you can even add roadside assistance, because you never know. All at the touch of a finger. Oh, and it won't complain if you miss the high notes. Now that's peace of mind. Count on the Intact Insurance app to make it intact. Restrictions apply.
Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell to emergency. Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell, please call extension 385.
Federal funding has fallen to just 22% of the cost of healthcare in Canada, and it continues to decline. Provinces and territories are doing their part, but we need the federal government to restore funding now to keep our systems strong. A message from Canada's premiers.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Michael Bunting has got the hat trick. Holy mackerel, what a game!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face off to the right in the Flyer zone. A bouncing puck comes in front of the net. Marner was knocked down. Matthews got it freed up. Marner swinging it around the boards. It'll come back to the point to Riley. Riley gets it back to the blue line. Riley onto the near side. Leafs on the power play. Nylander down low. Oh, and he got the pass to Marner, who quickly got it in front to John Tavares. Johnny kind of didn't get enough of it, did he?
Kind of right off the toe of his stick. Although sometimes that can be like a change-up for a goaltender where you're expecting a bullet and it kind of flutters on you and you have to fight it off.
Face off to the right of the Flyer goal. Tavares wins the draw. Riley, near side Nylander. Nylander looking down low to find Marner back at the net. Marner back to the near side. Nylander to the point. Now on the right wing side to Matthews, and that was kicked away by Sandstrom. And Sandstrom is slow to get up, and they score! Tavares, his 11th career hat trick, and the Leafs lead 5-2.
Yeah, Sandstrom's hurt. I mean, you got to believe that he's going to be taken off the ice. He has still not been able to get to his feet. Now, did he lose the blade?
He lost the blade. It's right in front of the net, Ralphie.
Man. Well, the Leafs got a break. Sandstrom, I thought at first it might have been a serious injury, but it's a malfunction of the right skate blade. Or is it the left? Whatever it is.
It's the left blade.
Yeah, it's the left.
Yep.
And he is pushing himself over to the Flyer bench, but it's too late now as Tavares has his third, and the Leafs have a 3-goal lead. And Tavares, I don't even think knew Sandstrom was struggling and out of the net. He just took the pass from Austin Matthews in the right wing circle, turned and fired it. But you know what? This isn't exactly a dart inside the post. It's about 3 feet inside the post. Sandstrom had moved to his left, went down, but then had no way to recover with the equipment malfunction. And all he could do is when the puck goes in, I don't know exactly the ruling on this. I mean, can the officials call it right away? I mean, it doesn't seem very common that you get a goaltender lose a skate blade.
You would think if they were nice, they would. But
I mean, that's when you throw your mask off.
Exactly. Or maybe you throw it at one of the referees that catches attention.
You probably don't want to do it when somebody like John Tavares is ready to unload one towards the net. Anyway, you put it. The Leafs on their 40th shot of the game. It's John Tavares' third goal. And the Leafs have a 3-goal lead.
11th of the season, or the 11th hat trick for Tavares. 7th goal of the season. He now has 5 power play goals. And the Leafs, with 4.5 minutes to go, have their first 3-goal lead. As this played around the boards to the far side. Down into the Toronto end. Round back to the goal and up on the wing for Engvall. Long rink-wide pass. Brought on now by Holmberg in with a pass. And it was just out of the reach of Yarncrook. Back to the point. Giordano. Far side and a shot to the side of the goal. They've gotten the skate repaired as the shot is deflected off a leg. Back of the net. Holmberg with it. Holmberg tried to center. He could have come right out and wrapped that around. I think and didn't. Puck along the boards. Kept in by Giordano. Holmberg cycles the puck. This line's been very effective tonight. And Pontus Holmberg has had a pretty good debut. Hasn't picked up a point. But this line has been everything that they've wanted it to be. 3:28 left. Matthews and Riley the assists on Tavares' hat-trick goal. Played around back of the net. Brody ties up his man. Hall knocked it off, and now the Leafs get it out at center. Here's a chance across the line for Aston Reese to Camp. Camp got a rebound, then couldn't get a shot directed at the net as it went off one of the Flyer defenders.
Oh, what a smart play, though, by Aston Reese. Got the line, pulled up, and hit David Camp coming late.
Leafs will change. Brody will circle back behind the net. So the captain has had a tremendous start to his season. He's got a 4-point night, 14 points on the year. As the Flyers send it down into the Toronto end. Flipped back by Mete for Marner. Returned to the defenseman. Riley gets an outlet pass and pulls ahead at center. Bunting will lay it deep into the zone for Matthews. Matthews in against the boards, unable to free it up there for Bunting, and it'll be poked out into the center ice area. Stolen back by Morgan Riley. Austin Matthews to the right wing side for Marner. Back to Matthews. Oh, what a move! Put it between his legs and then slipped it just past the near post. Matthews with it again. Top of the circle to Marner. Marner to Matthews in front of the net. Bunting! And Matthews tipped it wide. And the Flyers get it out, and now we got some hack, whack, and slash going here. And now Konechny went after Matthews, and then Giordano decided I'd better step in here. Bunting's in the middle of it as well.
You know what? I'm sure from both sides, this is not a bad thing. Flyers showing some emotion and going after Austin Matthews, and Giordano showing some big brother protection as he takes his man down. And they may not be done yet.
No, they're not. Now it looks like it's going to be Kevin Hayes and Giordano throwing punches. And Giordano wrestles Hayes to the ice.
Welcome back to the 70s. D'Angelo trying to get at Michael Bunting now.
All of this started with Matthews, and now Matthews gives the Flyer a shot. We got more going on. Bunting grabbing a hold of Tippett. And Austin Matthews is standing around collecting gloves and whatnot, like the little kid going, wonder what started all of this.
Well, what started all this was when two broadcasters bring up the 70s. I look at this as a huge positive. Michael Bunting getting a huge ovation, leaving the ice. But really, Mark Giordano is the one that saved Austin Matthews from having to drop the gloves. Now, you'd be okay with Matthews dropping the gloves, and it's always a great idea seeing somebody stand up for themselves until all of a sudden a shoulder injury or a broken hand, and the criticism comes out that what are you doing? But you remember Nathan McKinnon got hit last year at Madison Square Garden by Jacob Trouba. Gabriel Landeskog jumped in, and everybody was applauding that, saying that's great, guys are standing up for each other. Like we said, when it results in an injury, that's when the players get questioned. And this started with a collision, I think,
Konechny and Matthews, and they slashed at one another.
But it started with a collision after Matthews had the scoring opportunity. And they never let it go, and
Giordano came in quickly. Now, in fairness, Giordano took Konechny down, and then all of a sudden it started up again when Matthews and Konechny decided to have another goal with it.
And that's when Bunting came in. Actually, a pretty good, maybe a spear to the crest of Konechny when he went after Matthews. So let's hope that does not lead to any further action from the National Hockey League.
Well, the officials, Mitch Dunning and John McIsaac, are trying to sort it out at the penalty box.
Right now, Austin Matthews is in the penalty box. And
Konechny's gone to the dressing room, I believe. But Mark Giordano wasted very little time. You're not going to get involved here. I'm coming in.
Wow,
and he really tackled him.
That was like a quarterback sack, wasn't it?
He really tackled him.
And that brought Hayes in. D'Angelo. Michael Bunting was there. Yarncrook. All in a bit of a scrum. Like we said, it was a little later that it appeared to be a stick to the crest from Matthews to Konechny. And right now they have not put the penalties up on the board.
Minute 44 left in the third period.
All right, this is what we've got, Joe. Right now, all we've got on the board, according to the NHL website, D'Angelo, Hayes, and Konechny each have minors. And right now, only Austin Matthews with a minor. I'm sure that's subject to change.
Well, Giordano has to get something.
Yeah.
And
oh, now there we go. Giordano. Yeah, now they've basically got 3 and 3 on each side. D'Angelo, Hayes, Konechny, Giordano, Matthews, and Michael Bunting. And yet, out of the 6, Austin Matthews is the only one in the penalty box. John Tortorella's getting an explanation first over at the Flyer bench. And I'm sure the next visit is going to go to Sheldon Keefe.
Is happening now. In the olden times, the next 3 or 4 seconds might be a fairly entertaining piece of hockey.
Yes.
Well, we didn't quite have the group we wanted to on the ice at that point, but here comes Dave Schultz and a few others, and we have the folks we want on the ice now.
Well, I mean, the Flyers back in the 70s, they earned that nickname, the Broad Street Bullies.
And
very
through
good
all
reason.
of this, the Flyers are penalized, and the Leafs are on the power play. Engvall getting the puck back to the blue line. Near side, Sandin. On the wing, he comes back to Sandin. Sandin holds to Kerfoot, shooting. Pad save made there by Sandstrom, and the net is off its mooring.
Now that's, I mean, going back to the Tavares goal when Sandstrom lost his skate blade. You don't think that might have been part of your reaction? Just knock the net off? I mean, it's easy to say. It's easy to say after the fact.
What am I can't play.
Yeah.
Can't move. Well, you can only go one way.
Yeah. Yeah. But just getting back.
And the draw won by the Leafs on the power play. This is number 5. So things evening up. You were very astute at this assertion about how close it would get. Pass to the near side.
I did say a couple of late ones.
Yes, you did. Kerfoot works into the corner. Plays it around back of the net for Engvall. Back to Kerfoot. Kerfoot back to the point to Sandin. Sandin on the far side to Malgin. Down low, a centering pass in front. Jammed wide of the net. Malgin playing it back to the blue line to Sandin. Now to Kerfoot. Kerfoot far side. A shot is gloved by Sandstrom and held off the stick of Denny Malgin. The first power play unit for the Maple Leafs pretty much has gone to the dressing room.
Now, what do we got now? David Kemp. And you know what this might be as well? And we saw it in the pregame comments, John Tortorella sticking up for Sheldon Keefe and the heat he's been taking of late. This might be Keefe
trying to pay it back a little bit.
Not using, like we said, a lot of guys gone, but we're not seeing Tavares out here in the power play. We're not seeing Mitch Marner.
Played down into the Toronto zone. Mete starting out with a pass ahead. Holmberg across the line. Leaf fans starting to salute a team that is in desperate need of something good to happen to it, and it appears that the Flyers are going to provide that. David Camp can't get a shot away. Goes around back of the net. 6 seconds left. Camp back to the point. Paul's shot went off a body and wide. Played around back of the net, and there's the horn that ends the period and the game as Ristolainen gives Camp a bit of a cross-check at the end of the contest.
Well, we're going to do the player of the game with a positive spin this time.
No, you can't do it yet. Player of the game is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sports book with 80 million members worldwide. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Now you can.
No, I forgot. That's an easy one. John Tavares with a big night offensively for the Leafs. Hat-trick. Threw in an assist as well. So Tavares in on 4 of the 5 Leaf goals. Pretty good supporting cast in this one as well.
His 11th career hat trick. The Toronto Maple Leafs ride it to a 5-2 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, and will have a little bit of confidence in their sock when they get ready to play the Boston Bruins here on Saturday night.
Well, they've also got to realize they got a Philadelphia team that's been battling injuries. They played the night before, and from a Leaf standpoint, it's a nice stepping stone to being able to turn things around, but the test gets a lot harder on Saturday night.
We'll step aside. Gord Stellig and Brent Gunning with the post-game show. The Leafs win it 5-2. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. Molson Canadian, proud partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Did you hear? Wendy's Dave Single is now just $4. This juicy gossip is hot off the press, like our fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. The Dave Single is just $4 until November 6th at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310-DELL.
The new More Homes Built Faster Act isn't just about building new homes. It's about building hope and opportunity for newcomers, new buyers, and everyone in Ontario. It will help us overcome our critical lack of housing, reduce housing costs, and allow the building of 1.5 million new homes. That means more jobs, economic growth, and a brighter future. It's the once-in-a-generation housing plan Ontario needs right now. Brought to you by Build and the Ontario Home Builders Association.
As the days get shorter and nights longer, Force Field Protective Clothing wants to remind pedestrians and cyclists to be aware of their visibility. Stay highly visible and keep safe by incorporating some high-visibility gear into your wardrobe. That's why Force Field Protective Clothing created High Vis Day for pedestrian safety awareness. During the week of November 7th, visit highvissafety.ca for free giveaways and discounts store-wide. Stay visible and stay safe this daylight saving season. Forcefield Protective Clothing, safety apparel engineered for Canada.
Not to get too personal, but when it comes to financial services and insurance, Cooperators does just that, like the mutual funds or a mystery plan, or the I'm definitely retiring early plan, even the hun, that old tree looks pretty unstable plan. Your future is personal. Your plans should be too. Give us a call today. Cooperators, investing into your future together. Mutual funds related investment products are offered through Cooperators Financial Investment Services, Inc. Terms and conditions apply.
We're live with NBA Rookie of the Year Scotty Barnes, fresh off the court.
Welcome to the Subway Eat Fresh, Refresh.
Tell us your thoughts on Subway's new rice bowls.
This is news. What if we call it Bowlway?
Okay, how about we take a look at these ingredients?
Seasoned steak, rice, avocado, chipotle sauce.
Delicious.
Bowlway by Scotty. Subway. Eat fresh, refresh.
For limited time, save $3 with code BOWL3 only on the Subway app. Freshly prepared for your order at participating shops. Terms apply.
Keeping construction and mining industries earth-moving equipment at peak performance is a big job. It takes the latest technology, insight, experience, and some incredible people. At SMS Equipment, we roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Grow your career and expertise by working with some of the world's most advanced machines and heavy equipment technologies. SMS Equipment. Big machines, bigger careers. Apply now at smsequipment.com.
Time for a little hockey-talky. This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Leaf fans starting to salute a team that is in desperate need of something good to happen to it, and it appears that the Flyers are going to provide that. David Camp can't get a shot away, goes around back of the net. 6 seconds left. Camp back to the point. Hall's shot went off a body and wide, played around back of the net, and there's the horn that ends the period and the game as Ristolainen gives Camp a bit of a cross-check at the end of the contest.
What's not to like? Leafs Nation postgame. Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick here down at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs pepper 44 shots on the Flyers, pick up a couple of points with a 5-2 win. Matthews gets on the board. Aston Reese gets his first as a Leaf. John Tavares hat trick, and we get some fights. I am positively buzzing after this one, Gordo.
Well, just what the doctor ordered, meaning Dr. Sheldon Keefe ordered. You know, Joe mentioned a team looking for good things to happen. The Maple Leafs made good things to happen tonight in the 5-2 win, and a couple of times it was looking a little precarious because there were some weird saves, some close ones that didn't go in, a soft goal probably on each side as well, and then all of a sudden they took control, and John Tavares' best game as a Leaf, not just the 3 goals in that, but doing the greasy stuff and everything else. And like Jim Ralph just said, oh, sorry, I'm supposed to mention his name in 10 minutes' time when he's in the car. But anyway, not the worst thing at the end of the game. Like the feistiness, the chippiness from the Flyers, a good thing for the Maple Leafs to experience and stand up for as well. So some people go, oh, that's crap at the end of the game. The Flyers trying to get things going, but you know it's part of hockey still, and that added the crowd loved it, and the crowd goes home happy, home sweet home, and they got big games coming up: Boston Saturday, in Carolina Sunday, home against Vegas on Tuesday. So that's going to be no picnic.
Yeah, we'll have 2 of the 3 for you right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, of course, including the next game Saturday right here against the Bruins. Gord, I will mention you and I are 2-0 when we're down at the rink this year, so never a
worth
bad
mentioning.
idea.
Yeah,
worth mentioning. And should that record change, we'll never mention it again. But when it's going well, you better believe we will mention it. You mentioned the rough stuff at the end of the game, and I think that for a team like the Leafs, they weren't just looking for a win. They weren't just looking for 2 points. They were looking for something to galvanize them as a group. And sometimes I think too much can be made of that. Oh, you went and fought, but you lost 7-2. I don't know what that does for your team. But to beat them up on the ice and then to beat them up a little bit in the alleys, I just feel like it's got to be a galvanizing thing. You know, so often Jason Spezza was that guy, charging into scrums for this team to be that guy, and he's not here anymore. And Mark Giordano said, don't worry, I got it.
Well, and you had, the Flyers started it, and obviously this is part of John Tortorella's DNA on the team about, okay, if you're going to lose 5-2, leave something at the end. And they played a very aggressive, chippy style. So you got Bunting waiting in there, Giordano, and you know, Austin Matthews can handle himself. They're going after him at the end, and that's, you know, part of the way the game goes, and he can handle himself, gave a good shot back. So yeah, I think guys like Giordano and Bunting, they love those guys that have that in them, love those kind of roles. And it was kind of weird because you had you wondered if a line brawl. I never thought a line brawl would break out.
Yeah.
You don't see them anymore. They're not very smart to do because suspensions are incurred. But it kind of had secondary and thirdary, if there's such a word, fights when everything looked like it was being broken up.
I think our pal Anthony Stewart would say tertiary, I think is what he would say.
Tertiary fights, yeah.
Tertiary, exactly.
Both.
You know, check them. I'm sure they're both in the thesaurus or the dictionary, maybe, or at least one of them. You know, you mentioned Bunting there. anytime somebody looks at Matthews, he is the first guy in. He completely understands what his role is on this team, what his role is on that line. I am so proud of him. I thought for sure we were getting a whooping up to the crowd when he was skating off. I thought for sure. But to his credit, just kind of head down, go down to the tunnel. I thought for sure Bunting would have been pumping the crowd up like it was Ty Domi or Darcy Tucker from back in the day. So good on him to hold back a little bit, but not hold back when it matters. Gord, we always love to give you the Molson 3 stars. Molson 3 stars brought to you by Molson Canadian. Now, pretty easy choices for the first 2 stars of the game. John Tavares, I'm not going to say his best game as a Leaf, but that was the nicest goal he has scored as one. That was a beautiful goal on his second there. He made an awesome play to set up Matthews. We'll go with him as the first star. We'll go with Austin Matthews as the second star, and I mentioned it. He looked angry all night, itching for a fight. He finally got one at the end. Let's go Mark Giordano for his third star.
I think that, the year he got 47 goals, he had some great games, but this was a game they really needed it. So John Tavares, best game. Anyway, number 1 star, I agree with you. Austin Matthews. They made Morgan Rielly the third star here. Nice. Samsonov would get some consideration, I think, as well. But you're right about and Philadelphia developed a model where, God rest his soul, the late Ray Emery, when they got killed by the Washington Capitals, but he went out and just got in a fight, and they made him. Did they make him the first star in Philadelphia?
Like they would.
But just a little bit of that, and Giordano's a guy that's really committed to the program here. He's taking he wasn't going to make the kind of money that he was making in Calgary, but he signed for the hometown discount, wanted to be here, and with all the salary cap headlines, headaches, he's not one of them. And it was nice to see that kind of role that he's able to contribute as well.
Yeah, it really was. And let's just focus in on the first star of the game here, the captain, John Tavares. He needed a game like this, not for him, because like you said, he hasn't been the problem. He was one of 2 Leafs who was operating at a point per game coming into this one, him and William Nylander, and just as a whole, I really like that line. Alex Kerfoot, I've always liked him as a player, but I haven't been quite sure where the fit is for him, and I'm not going to say, after one game, you for sure found his home and you found his fit, but I really liked how he looked out there with Nylander and Tavares.
Well, tonight everything went well. We actually the third and fourth lines are the one that contributed, and they had a good identity, and Kerfoot, you always have to, the money that's affixed to him is the kind of role you want. So he's making over 3, and so you need a little bit more out of him. And I just some more offense, because he's got so much speed and so many other things. So tonight, you couldn't. But again, when you've lost 4 in a row, there were moments in the game where there was that possible slippage. And I'll tell you, in the third period,
right off the jump,
power play goal, that should have tied it up, really. A great save by Samsonov. But how the heck Philadelphia got a chance? Nylander still had about 20 seconds left in his penalty, and they got a chance 8 seconds into the third period. A glorious chance, and that would have tied it up. And good on them, whether it's the big save at that particular point, even though one of the goals he let in was of the soft variety, short side Samsonov, they came up with whatever it took to win. They seem to find it tonight.
Yeah, he'd like to have the Owen Tippett goal back, the second goal that the Flyers scored there. Credit to Owen Tippett. That's, we talk about the Nick Robertsons of the world. That's what Owen Tippett's there to do. He's there to shoot the puck and have a great release, and that's what it was, but he absolutely would want to have that one back. But I think this is what, or at least, with goaltending, it takes a long time, I think, for us to know exactly what a player is. But what I think you're starting to learn about Ilya Samsonov is there may be the one, like you say, with Owen Tippett, but he will get it back for you with 1 or 2 big saves. And, you mentioned the one he made right off the jump in the third period there. If that puck goes in, it's a completely different game. We're easily talking about a Leafs loss here, let alone a 5-2 win. So I think there's we're not seeing a guy in Samsonov who this is a for sure 1,000%. This is not a, your starter and he's going to run with it. That's what the case is now because of the Murray injury. But I think that you're really starting to, sense what he is as a goaltender.
Yeah, I think I got to get retrained to use the cough button, and I will do that. I also like tonight.
That's your equivalent of a juicy rebound.
That's correct. But the second intermission we talked about, it could have got ugly on Justin Hall, and these things have a way of taking a life of their own, and they are unfair. And it just takes a small minority to start it, and then all of a sudden, if the fans aren't happy, and you started one shift the booing about him, and he'd had a solid game. He made some blocks,
he did.
Offensive plays. He's had his struggles, this season for sure. And that one shift was probably about as bad a shift as he's ever had. So people were, just kind of the fans just kind of reacting to that. And I thought, man, oh man, if something bad goes, this crowd, who are very supportive, but it's not, I don't know about getting ugly, but obviously enough is enough, and they would, be pretty boisterous at the end of the game, disappointed in it, but also you start to single out like Brian McCabe and others have along the way. I just, that's a tough one to race. Larry Murphy way back when. I mean, it's so unfair and it's generally wrong, but it comes with losing. Losing sucks, okay? It always does. And that's what, number one, all the stuff off the air, coaches' security, off the ice, on the ice. A win like tonight just cures all ills for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's amazing what it'll do to quiet things down, and again, I go back to just how the game script could have completely flipped. If Philly scores immediately, I know they got a goal in the third there, but if they get that one right away, all of a sudden you're doing the woe is me, look at here we go again, and, things can move really fast out there, and it could be a scenario where the game got away from them, but to this team's credit, there was nothing to that. They took the Flyers' best punch at the beginning of that period, and of course they'd give it. They were on the power play. That's to be expected. But the other things I liked out of this game, and I know they got a power play goal there on the Tippett one, so maybe this is a little bit of unfair praise that I'm about to give them. But I thought the penalty kill looked back to being dangerous, like we saw at times last year. When that unit was going so well for the Leafs, you could not bobble a puck for half a second without it going down the ice, and you got to regroup and get yourself reset up. And now, granted, this Philly team isn't the Leafs power play for that matter, but I thought that the Leafs just did a better job of kind of hounding pucks on the penalty kill tonight as well.
Yeah, and you saw, particularly when you have Marner out there just trying to, hey, let's hang on. Let's see if we got a scoring opportunity coming down a possible shorthanded goal. And you're right, Brent, that's what we've seen before and haven't seen enough this season. Just all that stuff. Like everything just has not been as smooth as you like it to be in Leafville as it has been in the past in Leafville. And, for a lot of the new players as well, because when you're not playing great, and they weren't playing terrible, when you're not playing great, there's this pressure to make a real impression. And then you try to do it too hard, and that's the worst thing you can do. So a game like tonight where everyone can kind of breathe and just embrace the team concept was way better for everyone, including those players that are new and trying to make an impression.
Yeah, and I mean, a guy like Aston Reese, if he scores 0 goals for the Leafs, you'll live with it if he's able to give you other things. But for a guy like him, got to be nice to get on the score sheet there and contribute. And to a guy who I don't often give much credit to, Dennis Malgin definitely popped tonight. There are going to be nights where that's not the case for him in terms of what he is as a player, but his skill definitely shone through at several different times tonight.
Yeah, no, really did. And again, this is the guy they're quite big on, and there's a love affair about Nick Robertson just because he was drafted from within, and we know a lot more about him from the OHL, and it's not necessarily Mulligan or Robertson, even though it appeared that tonight. But yeah, they all played well, and I still think there is a role for Nick Robertson. Last time we were here, he was the first star with the 2 goals against the Dallas Stars. So. And, the Philadelphia's case, no Sean Couturier, no James Van Riemsdyk, and, of course, no Ryan Ellis, I think, for the whole season. So, I mean, your Leafs right now are fortunate injury-wise about things, and that's what was more as disappointing about the start against those kind of teams. So, like Travis Konecny is a man possessed tonight.
He was.
Absolutely. A very underrated player. You can see he's really bought into the John Tortorella system as well. He was just ticked off every play. His speed was showing, trying to make goals, create opportunities, his physicality, I was really impressed with his play. And, there were things to be impressed about the Flyers. A tired team after a 1-0 overtime loss to the New York Rangers last night. But at the end, it's the Leafs' talent. That's what we said. Got to get the big guys going. Easier said than done, and tonight it was done.
I mean this in the nicest possible way. Travis Konecny's a jerk out there. He's an ornery player. You want no parts of being against him, and he showed that tonight, including getting into it with just Bunting and Giordano right at the tail end of the game. But hey, you poke the bear. In this case, Austin Matthews. That is exactly what's going to happen here. We're attempting to hear from Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe. We're also attempting to touch base with our pal Luke Fox tonight. We will do. I don't know, let's aim for at least one of those things before we're done here. Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Pavlov's dog proved the power of predictable results. And for that, Ivan Pavlov received the Nobel Prize. Now Nick Pavlov, broker Remax West, also receives awards, also for predictable results. So have the award-winning Nick Pavlov real estate team provide a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
I'm Johnny. As a high school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover from pandemic learning disruptions. Schools work best when the government listens to and respects the expertise of teachers like me. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's knowmore.ca.
A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be. Blue and white at night. This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Now on the right wing side to Matthews, and that was kicked away by Sandstrom. And Sandstrom is slow to get up, and they score! Tavares, his 11th career hat trick, and the Leafs lead 5-2.
Johnny Toronto, what a night for the Leafs captain. He powers them to a 5-2 win over the Flyers. That snaps the Leafs' 4-game losing streak. It extends the Flyers. They've now dropped 3 in a row. Gord, not much else going on in the world of the NHL tonight. The NHL scoreboard brought to you by Bet365. Download the app and see for yourself why. Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook. 19+. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Don't tell me the Penguins did it again, Gord. They did it again.
After blowing a 3-goal lead to Boston last night, lead against Buffalo dissipates, and the Buffalo Sabres 6-3 winners come from behind. So be rocking in Buffalo. Tough sledding right now in Pittsburgh that started the season real strong, and I don't know. They're talking proud. The Atlantic Division, and that's one of the things about the Leafs and the 4 teams that made the playoffs last year. You're going to have to sustain a decent run this year because you got a bunch of teams, and Buffalo at number 1 of those non-playoff teams, really, really chomping at your heels right now.
Man, that's going to be a raucous Sabres team afterwards because the mums are all in attendance there. I saw a video of J.J. Peterka who got a goal in that game, and all the mums are fired up there. So, we all love performing.
That's their road trip in Buffalo?
Apparently. I don't know. Maybe they start off in Buffalo to go, I don't know, literally anywhere else in the league, maybe. But the Penguins surrendering 5 goals in the third period there. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Not what you like. Also, just going to update you on what's going on in the World Series. Astros up 5-0 on the Phillies. That is in the top of the 6th.
5 home runs?
No, I do not believe so. I cannot confirm that. I'll quickly take a peek here. No, first run of the game came in when a guy got hit by a pitch. So there you go. The exact opposite of a home run. Not remotely sexy there. Also, Raptors taking care of business tonight. They are on their way to a big win in San Antonio over the Spurs. There's your little NHL and extra scoreboard. I always like to keep you up to date on what's going on there. Gord, I think the big question for the Leafs coming out of this is how do they build off of this? Boston is no slouch. They could play a great game and easily lose the way that Bruins team is rolling. How do you, I don't know if bottle the momentum is the term. How do you build on this win?
Well, one thing tonight, they really retained their composure and just focused on playing hockey from puck drop, and that, to me, that was huge. Get back to that. And I look at these as neat little challenges. Can you rise up to the occasion? You play down to the level of the Anaheim Ducks and San Jose Sharks, 2 of the worst teams in the league, and Arizona as well. So in this case, if you're going to play in the playoffs, you know what the Tampa Bay Lightning were like last year in round number 1. So I'm viewing that as opportunities. man, the Bruins just off to a phenomenal start. Carolina steady, and Vegas back to being, they're kind of like the Leafs. I mean, they did at least made the playoffs, but it was a huge disappointment not winning a round. Vegas was beyond a huge disappointment not getting into the playoffs last year. Of course, they had a lot of injuries, but not a great excuse really. And this year they're deciding they're leaving no stone unturned so far.
No, and then in terms of the Leafs, it is just a matter of you have to. I think you've got to find some way to turn this into some momentum. And the positive thing I think you can take out of this, one, like you said, kept their foot on the gas the entire game, including Matthews trying to go between his legs. Now, I just think that was a guy who knows how to score goals using the best tools available to him, but I can understand why the Flyers didn't like it.
Well, that's what got the slash.
Down 4-2, down 5-2. I get it. But the thing I would say is that, we look at this Leafs team MO over the past 2 or 3 seasons. They don't have problems with the great teams, typically. I mean, I know, in the playoffs, it has not gone their way, but how many times we talked about this team playing down to competition and then looking like their absolute best, the tougher the test is.
Well, I include playing down in playoffs to Montreal and Columbus, and you're right, Tampa Bay, they played up and, battled them hard, but, and again, it's a long 82-game season. You got a lot of fans that are saying, okay, I'll check in game number 83, who really don't mean it, but they really don't want...
They love to say it.
But they really don't want any headaches in the regular season. Okay, they're done with that. This was the PA Parento era, okay, and all that, and now it should be, let's just get to the playoffs, let's have fun. If I go to a Leaf game, it's going to be entertaining, you're going to probably win. It's not going to be like we saw a lot of those games on the 4-game road trip, and tonight was certainly one of those in the 5-2 win over the Philadelphia Flyers.
You love your walk to the subway. I'm going to have a walk to the GO train once we're wrapped up here, and there would be a lot of people just kind of bouncing, a lot of life leaving this building tonight. That is what we love to see. That is Gord Stellick. I'm Brent Gunning. The Leafs pick up a 5-2 win at home over the Flyers, snapping their losing streak. We will continue to put a bow on the Leafs win, including a John Tavares hat trick. That's coming up next. Keep on listening to Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Finding a job in today's market can be a challenge. Whether you're looking for work or wanting to change your career direction, JVS Toronto will help you get the right job. Together with JVS Toronto employment experts, you'll explore new job options, create a strong resume, build an appealing online profile, prepare for job interviews, and connect with employers, all for free. Your job is waiting for you. JVS Toronto will help you find it. Get started today. For more information, visit jvstoronto.org.
John, you've promised you would book our yard and eaves cleaning by now.
John forgot, so he quickly turned to Jiffy. It's all taken care of. Jordan and Mike will be here in an hour.
How could you get it done that quickly?
Jiffy.
Jiffy?
Jiffy is the fastest and easiest way to get things done around the house. Reliable pros booked in seconds. It's that simple. Just download the Jiffy app or sign up at jiffyondemand.com. Use code FAN590 for $25 off your first job. Jiffy, fast and reliable home maintenance.
Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell to emergency. Paging Dr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell, please call extension 385.
Federal funding has fallen to just 22% of the cost of healthcare in Canada, and it continues to decline. Provinces and territories are doing their part, but we need the federal government to restore funding now to keep our systems strong. A message from Canada's premiers.
Do you recognize the sounds of the better way? Take this simple test to find out. Do you know this sound? Do you recognize this voice?
Next station is King Station.
Does this ring a bell? Does this tap into any memories? If so, sounds like you already know the better way to travel. So take a break from the pumps and take the better, more affordable way. Take the TTC.
Breaking down what's up.
What's up?
This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Now the Flyers break right in off the rebound. What a save by Samsonov! Save of the year! Samsonov had to go from his left to his right. Spread out, got that left pad out, and a brilliant save made by the Maple Leaf goaltender to keep the score at 2-1 as D'Angelo is turned aside.
Easily the most spectacular of the 23 saves Ilya Samsonov made tonight. Gord, what did you make of, for now at least, the Leafs' #1 netminder tonight?
So Joe's saying we're not going to see a better save all season?
He said it.
We only got like 1/8 of the season done. Anyway, well, that's pretty heady. I really impressed how he played tonight. Really impressed. There was one goal he'd want back, but there were some big saves when you really needed it, and that's, with a team this team is not fragile. I don't know what the exact word is. I mean, I know when teams can get fragile. It's more just they've been in that kind of, I don't even know it's a funk, but just the thing where they needed big saves, whatever. They've just easily given up leads. It hasn't been as easy to hold the leads like they had, or as successful holding like last year. So I was pleased, and I would take it. He's going to play 2 of the next 3 games because Eric Källgren played 2 in California. They said that Samsonov wasn't 100%. No knock on Källgren, but this guy's your #1 goaltender.
Yeah, that's the thing. Källgren had his little moment last year where we thought, hey, what's going on here? But you want Samsonov playing as many of these games as you can, and again, I don't necessarily mean that as a knock on. Don't mean that as a knock on Källgren, but he is not the starter at this level for a reason. That is Gord Stellick. I'm Brent Gunning. We will continue to put a bow on a big Leafs 5-2 win over the Flyers, including a hat trick from the captain John Tavares. We will continue to wrap things up here. It's Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Fall is here. Drive the best of all worlds at Don Valley North Lexus. Now is the time to take advantage of these incredible offers. Right now, lease the 2022 RX 350 Executive Package from just $398 bi-weekly for 40 months at 4.5%. They're here, in stock, and available for immediate delivery while supplies last. Expect excellence online and in the showroom. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com. A proud member of the Wayne's Auto Group.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci with a Pizza Nova Insider's Tip. For a tastier pizza, order it well done. It just tastes better. So come on, think Italian and taste the difference.
Oh, Pizza Nova, pick up the phone and get a shout. 439, Pizza Nova. 439, Pizza Nova.
911, what's your emergency?
A boy was just hit by a car. Please send an ambulance quickly.
A devastating accident can turn your family's life upside down. Thompson Rogers can help give you the clarity you need to see the way forward with practical legal advice and support at every step.
Zahir, the leg brace may be permanent.
From the hospital room to the courtroom, you need the lawyers at Thompson Rogers to help take away uncertainty. That's real life counsel. Go to trlaw.com to find out more.
Get him, boy.
The Intact Insurance app is your perfect driving companion. It's got Crash Assist, which automatically detects a crash, a handy proof of insurance, and you can even add roadside assistance, because you never know. All at the touch of a finger. Oh, and it won't complain if you miss the high notes. Now that's peace of mind. Count on